This is a Galactic Network podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, most likely gentlemen, you are about to listen to the podcast of terror. This podcast is terrorable. That's terrorable, not terrible. It's actually a great podcast, but it is terrorable. It is full of terror. It's discussing movies that are full of horror and terror, and that means there are probably going to be adult themes, and there's going to be adult words, curse words, bad words. There's going to be references to potty humor based on the hosts, Matt and Corey, who I love. So if adult themes, adult words, and potty humor are not your thing, or if spoilers for terrorable movies are not your thing, then this terrorable podcast is not for you. Listen to something else, maybe 90th Percentile, the worst episode ever, a Simpsons podcast. But if you do like terror, you love things full of terror, you love terror, then this terrible podcast is for you. Podcast of Terror coming up right now. Burn and fire, burn the fire. Burn and fire, burn the fire.
It's fucking terrible.
Video people.
Yeah, well, so what happened is we kind of were forced into it. Because Corey and I, he's in Michigan and I'm in Wisconsin, and he was originally in California, and everyone's never anywhere near us. So we had no choice but to record using the internet, and fucking here we are.
And we still don't really have much of a choice now. You already have to drive 4 hours to band practice every weekend, so...
He's not wrong.
Meaning a first podcast is probably...
It's actually 2 hours and 20 minutes, but, who's counting?
But it maybe feels like 4.
Well, on the return trip, I hit 4.
Got it. All right.
So, hey, let's go old school. Matt, what you drinking?
It's called Wake Up, Neo. I shit you not. It's a little
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a Matrix scan.
Whoop, whoop. What brewery is it?
Triptych. It's nearish, you guys.
Really?
Nope, never mind. I lied. Illinois. It is straight south of me. A buddy of mine went out to Asheville, North Carolina, and brought this back for me. So I just assumed it was closer to there. I didn't realize it was here.
Well, I grabbed this in your honor, Matt. I am
bottle
going to be
of horse
drinking
cum.
Close. It's a Faygo Red Pop.
Oh man, Rock and Rye is on the clearance table at the gas station. I almost bought it.
I got a Rock and Rye in the fridge right now.
It was always a weird flavor. They don't make Diet Rock and Rye, and I gotta keep this shit tight. So
it's the one Faygo is going to really blow it up for you, Matt.
It has nothing to do with all the ice cream.
Well, that is
or
so much sugar. That is
I started eating Halo Top because Matt Vincent said I looked like a mattress.
What?
Whoa.
I really took that out of context. So I do a Fast and the Furious podcast with Matt Vincent, who was on the show. And he recently has lost 100 pounds, but he's like a fitness dude. All he does is work out.
Yeah.
And I made some comment. I'm like, yeah, but I like potato chips more than not eating potato chips. And he goes, I like not looking like a mattress. I was like, all right, man.
Damn.
But dude used to be a big boy. He's a strong man and stuff, but whatever. It is what it is.
I would like to get sponsored by the Halo Top mattress, though. That sounds delightfully soft.
It does.
Well, you just made something up. Halo Top is fake ice cream and not a mattress, but
Halo Top mattress.
I don't know. I had to take a break from ice cream ever since the news came out of people licking it.
That's why you got to get the one with the condom on it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just getting ice cream pops now, the coconut bliss kind.
Yeah, I also didn't know people were licking it, so now I need to reassess my life.
It's a thing. I mean, it's probably made up by the government to keep us distracted, but it's a thing that people are going into grocery stores and opening the ice cream and licking the top of it and then closing it and putting it back in the fridge.
Huh.
Yeah. People are fucking monsters.
Yeah, they are.
We're going off of people posting shit on their TikToks or whatever. And okay, so I lick this and I put it away. But then immediately afterwards, when the camera's off, I take it back and I go up and I pay for it, or at least dump it on the floor and make it seem like something happened that wasn't me licking it.
I hope.
You would hope.
Yeah. But I live by a very simple set of rules, and one of my rules is never look too closely at the McNugget.
I love McNuggets. One time I ate 50.
Right. But it's basically we don't have an understanding of where our food comes from. what the process is, what's in it. We know that there's a legal amount of rat droppings and things according to the government, and that's probably gone to shit fucking hell.
Hell's Bill's
because
character.
who gives a goddamn now? We know what the president eats, so I don't imagine that fucking ice cream getting licked is the worst that's going to happen to us. And goddamn, there's probably like 6,000 kinds of chloride in that shit anyways. So I'm gonna have my Ben and Jerry's and shut the fuck up.
Hey, before you start talking about chemtrails, can we introduce our guests?
Yeah. Hi guys.
I had to nip that one in the bud. It was only 4 minutes and 15 seconds in, but
our guests are Ben and Jerry.
Ben and Jerry, popular ice cream connoisseurs. That's not very nice. They're very nice people. I met them at the introvert conference. Kenny and Katie from the Haunted Heart Park. I'm only on my second beer.
Having a stroke.
No, it's just mush mouth because I'm tired and drinking. So Sundays. Hi guys.
Hey. Hi.
Should talk about your show. I know we've mentioned it, but now you're here. You can do it better justice than I can.
This is like when people ask me to tell them about myself, and I freeze up because I'm such an introvert.
Did you say an introvert? Because that would be fucking awesome. You just throw a shuriken at their face and then run.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Yeah, an introvert. So that's a good thing for you. Yeah. Our show is the Haunted Heart Podcast, and we have an hour-long podcast that we release on Wednesdays where we talk about all manner of bullshit, vampires, zombies, murder, mayhem. And then on the weekends, we do a show called Netflix and Kill where we talk about horror films that are currently streaming on Netflix.
I was very excited to see you guys do an episode of the with the babysitter, and then I listened to it, and I'm really glad you hated it because I had some issues with the movies you picked.
Yeah, I hated it a lot.
Yeah, we've it's difficult finding something that's really good on Netflix, but sometimes you get a few gems in there that are pretty cool.
Yeah, I think the reason I was pretty vitriolic on
you
on
hated that shit.
The thing is that I love that type of horror when it's done right. Like, it is my favorite type of totally comedy, horror comedy slasher, kind of has that vibe of back when you were a kid and things were simpler and hot chicks just killing people, but it's awesome, but they just fucked it up so bad. And I was like, why did you do this to me? But I was out the minute that she fucked up her Star Trek reference. I can't stand for that.
You got out of control upset about that, and I don't really give a shit about Star Trek, but I could see how someone could be as upset as you. I also live my life half drunk at all times. Yeah. So I don't know, man. But
I want to be clear that this show is being hosted and broadcasting on a network that is sci-fi based. Yeah. And we're the only show that is not sci-fi nerd.
Let me mention. Related. I should explain to our newfound friends how this show came about, because I was on a sci-fi roundtable and all I did was complain about how I hated everything. And then Corey's like, "Give that man a horror podcast," and here we are 4 years later.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love sci-fi. I think there's something about, and I think other female sci-fi fans potentially feel this way. We get so much shit for people figure out that you're into Star Trek and they're like, wait, but really, are you really into Star Trek? Do you know this super obscure reference from this one particular episode? And it's they feel the need to quiz you. And so to watch somebody fuck up something so bad that's so obvious, I'm just like, oh man, this is the typical hot girl trope, but they didn't do their research.
So I had my brother watched Next Generation a lot when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And because I wanted to hang out with my older brother, I always watched it.
Yeah.
And the points you made, just right over my fucking head.
Same.
It's and I've watched this shit, and I just was like, whatever. I don't really care.
and here's the better point is that line that woman had to read about Star Trek in that thing was probably written by a dude.
Right. A dude who doesn't fucking know shit.
Right. So he's the one who fucked it up for everybody.
Right. And I'm like, fuck you, dude.
Probably
And now that
busy
girl
squeezing
is
tits,
possibly
guys.
going to have to answer for that. She's probably going to be like at cons and stuff. And they're going to say, yeah, but you don't know shit about Star Trek. And she's like, it wasn't my job to know shit about Star Trek. It was my job to read the lines that some asshole wrote. So talk to him. But she's going to get shit about it for the rest of her fucking life.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, if you go to the cons where I met Katie and Kenny, no one's around.
Yeah, that's true. That's an upside. That was terrible, dude.
I'm
He
not.
came through, like, right at the time when everybody, like, I watched everyone just like abandon their booths for Shake Shack, and I was like, "What is happening?"
Yeah, it was pretty.
It's not closed, right? Like, there are still people here.
I told her, I was like, "What's going on?" I'm like,
Yeah.
And that's the whole reason that my wife was like, "Let's walk around." Everyone's fucking gone.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, because people come through during lunch. You got to be a real podcaster and eat your fucking lunch of Indian food with your fucking hands before at the lobby.
They're gonna see you eat it in your arm. Don't
I was going to say,
don't
or
do
you
drugs,
be
kids.
like hardcore podcaster like we are and just not have an audience. It makes it so much easier to get meals in.
7 strong. 7 strong.
yeah. No, it's okay. I was like, everyone just left, and I'm like, let's just like DoorDash our shit in. But then they just didn't give us like utensils or anything.
Dude, that fucking happened to me the night before. I did Uber Eats from because Chicago's not that far from me. Like I went back this weekend.
Right.
Well, I'm going to Rosemont, but that means nothing to you.
No, it doesn't.
It's by
Not
the
at all.
it's by the air. Oh, did you fly in or did you drive in?
We flew.
So Rosemont's by the airport.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
anyways, I got like a salad with my cheeseburger. Let that one wrap around, and they didn't give me a fucking fork. And my wife's like, just go to the lobby and get one. And I said, no, I'm just going to eat it with my hand. So I just bare pawed lettuce in my mouth because I'm stubborn.
Well, that's how we were. What did you order? You ended up ordering.
We ordered Indian. So I got paneer masala.
Which is just like this
Which is just-
soupy like thing.
Yeah,
It's
liquid. So I'm just like scooping with the lid of the rice like into my
Poured it in
face
your mouth.
as people are like moving through the lobby of this.
yeah, they're looking at us and they're like, "Oh, she must be a podcast."
Yeah.
Are you guys going to go back next year?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe. I don't know.
We
Okay.
had actually talked about doing
Horror,
CrimeCon actually next year,
Yeah.
possibly.
We want to do CrimeCon, and then we want to do Mad Monster in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's more of like a horror con.
Yeah. Well, that's dumb.
Yeah, we were thinking of doing that just to sort of like break away from, I guess.
From people who leave their podcast booths to.
Yeah. Well, I heard some talk that it's going to be in Milwaukee next year,
Oh, really?
which
Okay.
is a less of a drive for me, and it's in my state. So
Yeah, there's good beer there too. I also hear you people fry cheese, so like really.
Oh, honey. So Erica from Apex and the Abyss is a good friend of mine and Corey's too. So her and her husband came. This is the whole reason that my wife and I went. And they were like flabbergasted that I brought them not fried cheese curds, like fresh cheese curds. And my wife brought her own brick of cheese to eat in the hotel room. And they were just fucking blown away by this. And I'm like, this is normal. Like there's cheese shops on the highway. Like we stopped and I got beef jerky and cheese on the way down. So I had snacks.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
that's nice.
All right, maybe we'll go for the cheese.
Well, I mean, or just go to Milwaukee. I'll meet you there. And I will bring you enough beer to drown a small child.
It's nice to
Or
eat a
our
block of
feelings.
cheese when you're traveling because then you don't have to worry about shitting the entire weekend.
But see, I've grown up eating that much cheese. Like, it doesn't affect me. Everyone's like, well, I'm not going to shit. I'm like, I think I don't shit correctly if I don't eat enough cheese. Like, my body doesn't know what to do without cheese.
Like it's the next step in your evolution.
Exactly. My final form is just a human cheese curd.
He's just going to grow udders and milk himself to death.
I used to melt a plate of cheese curds and then just eat it with a fork.
Oh, I used to do that with mozzarella cheese sticks. Like
Fuck
with
yeah, I've done that too. You get the little crust around the end.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. We need to take a 5. I gotta go rub one out.
Yeah. What type of cheese would you be?
If I was.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like this question a lot.
Probably, I would say like I would say like a brie. Because I'm like barely holding it together on the outside, but then you cut in and it's just like.
That's not where I thought you were going. I thought you were just really into death metal pig squeals. I guess not.
No.
Corey, I guess Kenny, what kind of cheese would you be?
Pepper jack, most definitely.
Because you're spicy?
Yeah.
White and spicy?
Yeah, pretty much. No, I could consume my weight in pepper jack cheese.
Uh-huh.
Like I could just smother my face in pepper jack cheese. It probably is not a great idea, but yeah.
Do you like
Wouldn't it
spicy
Silence
stuff?
of the Kurds.
Yeah, then I'd eat myself. Oh, that would. Yeah.
Do you like spicy food?
I love spicy
Okay.
food.
Yeah, they have like
Yeah.
ghost pepper and habanero and shit here. The same variation.
Do they do like a ghost pepper jack?
Well, it's just a ghost pepper Monterey Jack. So, yes, I should have said yes. I'm sorry. I said that and I felt very stupid. Like that sentence came out of my mouth and my brain said, "What are you doing?"
What about you guys? What cheese would you be?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with a finely aged cheddar because I'm a little crunchy on the inside.
With the calcification?
Yeah, but damn, am I exquisite.
But you're sharp though, right? You're
Yeah,
not
I'm sharp
you're
as
not a mild.
fuck. No, I'm like the sharpest cheddar. Like you can get 15-year aged sharp cheddar if you can afford it here. It's like $25 a pound. It's out of control, but it is fucking worth it, and it'll last forever because they already cut the mold off.
Yeah.
Yeah, Corey, how about you?
I'm also aged, very much so, but I'm more of a dry cheese, so I would probably be a Parmesan.
I assumed you'd be Limburger because I think you probably smell funny,
Well, fuck you, and
and you leave a bad taste in my mouth every day.
really the best taste.
Yeah.
I feel kind of bad about that one, but not bad enough to say sorry.
Yeah. Roast mode engaged.
Yeah. I kind of forgot what we were talking about. The beer's kicking in. Other than the cheese, I mean, I remember the cheese conversation, but I think we were saying something before
I
that.
think you guys are talking about conventions, and
yeah.
since this was this the first convention you guys went to as guests, essentially?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So so you shouldn't be tied to one place yet. You should kind of jump around and find the what really fits and works for you. So going to the same place next year doesn't make a lot of sense. You wanna spread out and see where is your spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we found that a lot of not
Ruh-roh.
Row is right.
we're really big on, but we find that like if you are the type of person who just as a rule does not like horror, you will not like our show. So it kind of makes sense to us to go towards the like horror convention route because those are kind of our people.
So you're
Whereas you have a lot of people who listen to true crime who are like not.
yeah, Crime Con's in New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
So
it was this year, but I think they might move for next year.
okay, well, for the sake of the joke, we're going to say it's in New Orleans again next year. I was going to say you're going to go where the whores are.
Yeah.
You really fucked that one up, Katie.
If Matt and I were gonna go where our audience is, it would probably be to like a Jack in the Box.
It would be in Sheboygan because that's where 50% of our audience is from because they're just friends of mine.
Right. Yeah.
Never.
I have no friends who listen to our show.
That means nothing to you guys. Sheboygan, Wisconsin's where I grew up. It's a weird place. Lots of meth. There was a kid who got stuck in a claw machine one time. True story. True fucking story. There's grocery stores called Piggly Wigglies, also referred to as the Wobbly
No,
Line.
there are people
Okay.
who can talk too.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So there was a kid who climbed inside of the claw machine, and then Sheboygan was on national news because of this. And the more I drink, the more Wisconsin accent I get. So like I have a really good friend of mine in Kansas. So when I say bag, he always makes fun of me because he's like, what, bag instead of bag.
Yeah.
So it's a long A sound.
Yeah.
So like a week and a half later, I went down to St. Louis to play a show with my band at the time. And I met a guy and I told him where I was from. And he goes, I thought Sheboygan was in a different country. He goes, everyone talks so funny there. Like, yeah, it's like real thick, Yooper, like German, Canadian accents. It's pretty fucking bad.
I like how the world like comes together about the story of a young girl who gets caught down in a well, and it touches the hearts of America, and we all like grow stronger as a people. But your town, it's like he got caught in a claw machine at the Piggly Wiggly.
The fucking squid.
You're like the Dean Koontz compared to the Stephen King of the Well Girl. It is just, you're such a fucking also ran. You're like the batshit fucking bull crap throwaway movie that's a rip off of Jurassic Park that Blockbuster used to stock. It's like, oh look, old dinosaur world thing.
Have either of you ever been to like North Dakota or Minnesota?
No, but I'm weirdly obsessed with a town in North Dakota called Wolf Creek.
Oh yeah. There's a TV show and all that shit. Yeah.
Before that, like many years ago, I got fixated on that on like a map, and I was like, at the point when I reach the full point of saturation of just fuckery in my life, I'm gonna drop everything and move to Wolf Creek.
Interesting. Well, when you move to Wolf Creek, you will likely encounter the term "ope sorry." So.
Sorry. Is that what everybody says there?
Well, we do it here too, and it happened last night. I was helping a band load their shit off, and the next band was loading in, and a guy and I kind of intersected, and we just both went, "Oop, sorry."
Oh, yeah, that's that level of politeness that I'm like scared of.
Well, and that's
what is ope?
Uber polite.
It's just like a oop,
like oops.
Oop, boop. Yep. See, I hope you guys start doing this now. Like, where the fuck have you guys been?
That's our next podcast episode. We're just
say oop for 45 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. That level of politeness scares me as someone from the South, because we are all really loud and yelly at each other all the time.
Well, I don't know about all of it.
But we do. Well, I guess we do have like the "excuse me."
Yeah. You're because you're from South Carolina, Virginia.
Southern Virginia.
It's just a fucking blob of Southern fried chicken to me.
Yeah,
I know nothing about it, and humidity. That's all I know about your area.
So
super humid.
We're from Southern Virginia, but it's on the border of like Virginia and North Carolina. So it's like, depending on where you're at, you can walk out your back door and be in North Carolina. So it's just right there. So pretty much you either say you're from Southern Virginia or North Carolina for the most part. So
I mean, I'll put it to you this way: the town is called Dry Fork.
Yeah,
like that's the name.
Sorry. I want to dry fork my wife later.
Dry Fork, 2 words, and that's our town.
I feel like you're on the border of North Carolina and South Virginia, or where the fuck you were talking about. There should be a big sign there that already just says, "Oh, sorry."
South Virginia doesn't exist, Corey. I want to put that out there before we get emails. That's a good point. But
sorry.
Oops, sorry. You guys are in DC though now, right?
Yeah, we're in DC now.
Living the big city life.
Yeah.
Oh, so in DC, by the time the person gets to "oh, sorry," you're already on your second clip. You're just like,
oh yeah.
You should apologize faster. I'm sorry, I've just shot 10 of you.
Do you guys? Because you were asking about. You said something about good beer. I'm going to help you out here. Yeah. I know nothing about Washington D.C. I was there once in 8th grade, and I bought a Pantera CD there. That's my interactions. There's a brewery in Drainesville, Virginia?
Yeah, I know where that
Henderson, Virginia. Oh, fucking whatever. Aslan Brewing. Go there.
Yeah. I've been there.
I get that shit mailed to me because you can't get it here.
It's really, really good.
You're not going to find much better here.
Really?
Unless you don't want to feel your face. Like, we do a lot of, dark beers. Real thick shit. Like 2C thick shit out here. Aslan's really good at the whole IPA stuff.
Yeah. There's another really good brewery called Vanish Brewery. If you've ever seen their stuff.
Banished?
Vanish. Vanish
Oh, Vanish. Okay.
You drink it and then disappear into the night.
That. Yep.
It's out by you, I assume.
It's in. I think it's actually. It says it's in Leesburg, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
I think
it's next to Skills USA. case you're interested.
What?
It's next to Skills USA. I don't know what that is.
I don't either, because that brewery's in the middle of fucking nowhere.
That's how you know what's good. There's one in it's south of Indianapolis called 450 North, and it's just in a fucking cornfield.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, I could talk all day about beer.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't drink beer.
Are you? What are you? I saw you're sipping on something, and it looks like maybe a White Russian.
No, it's not. It's an amaretto sour.
All right, so at least it's not like vagina juice like Corey and his Red Pop. Corey doesn't drink, so
I got it for you in the show.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's not. No, don't do that. But no, I'm typically I stick to like either like I like gin, and I like tequila, and wine. But beer, I can't do. Dark liquors, I can't do any of that, and I don't typically like vodka or rum.
So I drink all the stuff that he doesn't drink.
Yeah.
You guys like a power couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm pouring my third beer because that's what I think of this. No, you guys are delightful. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
I remember when I wrote the email, and I'm like, how do I not sound fucking insane? Like, hey, remember when we randomly met that one time when you met a bunch of people? Come on my show.
Don't we all, though? I feel like I go through that anxiety.
There was...
I don't give a fuck about any of that.
I just close my eyes and type and hit send, and then I'm like, we'll deal with this one later.
Yeah, it works out fine. Most of the time it works out fine. And if it doesn't, then you can just be like, wow.
There was a
like
lady...
a 3:30 drunk Amazon order.
AM or PM?
It shows up at your front door.
Well, are we ordering at AM or PM? Because that's two very different orders. Yeah.
I don't know.
Mull that one over. So there was this lady.
When are you less sober?
A soccer mom. Depends on the day. There was a soccer mom at that podcast festival, and she asked about what shows I did, and I was like, yeah, I do a Fast and Furious one called Cast and the Furious, and she goes, I've heard of it. I said, no, you haven't. She's like, no, I'm pretty sure I haven't. I'm like, no. I said, we did one episode, and it just came out. You haven't heard of it. And she just stared at me, and I'm like, it's okay.
It's okay.
Thanks for trying to lie to me.
Goddamn magic. Some marketing genius came up with the title.
Speaking of marketing genius, because of Kenny and Katie coming on, I have spent all day doing Satan things.
Oh.
I watched a documentary called Hail Satan about the Satanic Temple, which was actually really interesting, and I wanted to watch it, and I just happened to watch it. It literally had nothing to do with you guys.
That's a really good documentary, though.
It is. A buddy of mine does beer glassware. I'm trying to get this in there. So he has a grind pint series, so it's just got a bunch of upside down crosses and this big ass pig head on it. This is what I grabbed a drink out of. So if you like glasses, go check out Random Shit Press. Our RS Press. He's a really good friend of mine.
I'm going to put it in.
Still not a sponsor. Okay, that's fine.
He did a woman's rights wine glass. So like a portion of all the proceeds are going to the Women's Rights Foundation. And he has like this huge backing from the Satanic Church for this glass. And that's kind of how the watching Hail Satan came up and this whole thing.
What's his website?
Our randomspress. Big Cartel, I think. Otherwise, it's mostly Instagram.
Oh, got it.
Press Big Cartel.
I found it.
Okay,
yeah.
Good. Yeah, so he's the vocalist in a band called Migrator. If you're into doom metal, probably not. I don't see you two as being big doom fans.
I don't know that I know doom metal. Now, I used to be really big into metal. I used to follow this band around. I used to follow this band around that was called Shuttersome.
I think you just made that up.
No, I didn't.
Is it Shutter Sun or Shutter Some?
They were only famous in like our general 30-mile vicinity.
Oh boy!
But it was a lot.
So is it?
I fuck with metal, but I don't know doom metal.
Is it Shutter Sun or Shutter Some?
That doesn't
It was one word, Shuttersome.
That just takes two words and put them together and says metal after it. He's like, it's black quantum metal. It's refried free holy metal. It's all the fucking time. I don't think any of this shit exists.
And the worst thing is when people are like, "Oh, you're in a death metal band," and I'm like,
Oh.
No, I'm not in a death metal band.
You need to do like a chart of something.
Fucking-
Just
I'm gonna pull out
what
a
metal is
Venn
what.
diagram and be like, "This is us. This is death metal."
And at some point, the paper just goes
Something's-
completely black with black ink on, and you can't read any of it. You're like, "That's where my band is."
You can probably get that with Vistaprint.
I'm pretty sure I can. I already got it ordered.
So wait, what type of metal is your metal band? Is it doom metal?
No. Doom metal's too slow for me. It's more of like a chaotic hardcore kind of music, like the Chariot and some Every Time I Die, stuff like that.
Okay.
A lot of weird time signatures, time changes.
Okay.
Sometimes I got to smoke drugs so I can comprehend what our guitar player's doing. It's a thing. Yeah. I made beer glasses because I drink a lot.
That is such a great way to just say that. Well, we're not really trying. You know, the tempo changes and the guitarist sometimes goes out of tune, and the singer just walks out of the room every once in a while. It's really heavy.
It's what happens when five guys realize that they're not going to be famous musicians, all get married, have kids and real jobs, but still want to play in a heavy metal band.
Okay.
That's literally what happened because we were the same guys in a different band with like singing hooks. It was more like under oathy, and then they started having kids, and I went back to school, and we were just like, well, let's just do this for fun, and now we're angry.
So is it like dad metal now?
Technically, well, not all of us are dads.
Okay.
That'll change a diaper too.
Yeah, 2/5 of us. Well, 3/5. Yeah, 2/5 of us don't have kids.
Okay.
So dad-ish metal,
Dad adjacent metal.
dad adjacent metal, weekend dad metal.
It's drunk on weekend metal. Yeah, that's.
Oh, that's funny. I suppose we should probably talk about this movie though.
We should.
Yeah, I kind of prolonged that one.
That's a good lead in.
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
I think it makes sense, right?
So warm up.
That's a smooth transition.
Yeah.
A lot of metal in this movie.
Good.
Beatmaster just called me a sugar daddy. I don't hate that. Sorry, I don't know if either of you are paying any attention to the.
I'm looking at the comments, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sugar daddy, that counts.
Phil Rude's here. He draws stuff.
Yeah, I've got a couple of Phil's books sitting right in front here.
Really? Did you
Did
know?
not expect Phil to show up.
You plan that?
No, I've had him up here for the last couple of weeks actually.
Yeah.
So.
Phil's been a guest. He's a longtime friend of Corey's. I like his stuff on Instagram once in a while.
Actually, I think he probably knew you before he knew me.
I don't feel comfortable that that's the truth, so I'm just gonna say no.
What does Phil draw?
Penis.
Sorry, I don't talk about this movie, but I got distracted.
No, that's fine.
I'll let Phil fill you in. But he has a really cool comic on Webtoons right now. It's a scientist cat that fights dinosaurs, and these books are illustrated novels that he's done. He's done some stuff with other people. He just completed the Camp NaNoWriMo challenge, where he wrote a 50,000 word novel this month about Bigfoot, and he's not telling me anything more than that so far. So I'm going to taunt him and call him out as much as possible.
I pooped every day this month. What do I win?
You win the opportunity to listen to Phil's podcast as well.
He has a podcast? Oh my god, I've sounded like such a terrible
Jesus Christ,
person.
really? Yeah.
Most days I don't put my underwear on the right direction, so let's just let this one slide.
Yeah.
I've been on a streak of doing that with my pants. This week, I put my pants on wrong 3 days in a row. And then
I was joking. That's why I'm a little concerned now. Did you leave the house with your pants on backwards?
No. Okay, so they're like girl pants, so they were more like leggings. So they're
okay.
identical to the fucking back of them.
Yeah.
And don't have any tags in them, and so you just put them on wrong, and then
what difference does it make?
there's more space in the back for your ass.
I assume that there was just a pocket, and she's like, "Holy shit, the pocket's in the front all of a sudden."
No, they don't have pockets because they're not cool enough to do that.
Yes, they don't have pockets because that's insane.
My
Yeah,
wife
they're-
wears a
don't have
shitload of those things.
The fake pockets.
Yeah, but no, they had fake pockets in the back, and that's what gave it away.
Oh,
So
okay.
found out though, realized it all 3 times before I walked into work, so that's good.
Also, Matt's about to recommend a band that is Yoga Leggings Metal, and you probably will not like them. They're a little too dark for you.
I actually want to look this up.
Yoga?
Yoga Leggings Metal.
he's making a joke, but now I got to find out if there's a yoga leggings
like a soccer mom band that does like
yoga
death metal.
They do metal yoga now.
Yes.
That's a thing.
Yes, that is a thing.
Because goats are involved in yoga, and we know that goats are the devil's children.
Well, if you watch Hail Satan, pretty eye-opening. I actually knew a bunch of that already.
That would be really cool though, if you do hot yoga and Black Phillip comes walking out and prances on your back and
metal yoga bones. I'm in a dark corner of the internet right now, guys.
Me too. Yeah, there's like videos of like yoga metal.
Yeah, I don't hate this.
To salutation. What's do your son salutation?
Yeah. Warrior 2.
I mean, I might actually would attempt to go to yoga.
Dude, yoga's great. Like
I've done it once. She brought me to it one time.
No,
that wasn't yoga.
Yeah.
That was.
I took him to a sound healing
that
class.
was a Chinese buffet.
No.
Oh.
No, I've taken him that many times.
Yeah.
I took him to a sound healing class at my yoga studio, like halfway as a joke. But then we got there.
What is sound healing, though?
Huh?
What is sound healing?
Lay down on the ground and someone just screams directly in your face.
Did you laugh?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like I would just start laughing at someone.
So it was hosted by like this couple who were both very vegan.
They could be from Midsummer.
Strike one.
Definitely could be from Midsummer. So they like walk in and they have all these like crystal bowls and like shit and like gold like little finger clackers from band class, and like they come in and they spend like 30 minutes just talking without picking up any instruments at all, talking to us about sound and our chakras. And Kenny, who has no background at all in chakras, is like totally lost. And I, who have like a little bit of background in chakra that I fake a lot of, and I've never been called out on, I'm just kind of like, interesting. And then they started like making sounds, and we were kind of like, we laughed through probably the first half of it. But then like the end of it was pretty cool. When we got to lay down, it was cool. But then one guy fell asleep, and then he was snoring really loud.
Oh yeah, because you got vegan people screaming at you, so they get winded partway through. They don't have any energy.
It was a lot.
By the way, after a session of metal yoga, I like to go and do a little flogging Molly Tai Chi.
Actually, that sounds amazing.
It does sound amazing.
I would sign up for that. I want to do one of the yoga classes where they curse and drink beer throughout.
Oh, that's pretty easy to come by here. Like breweries do yoga here.
Our breweries do too, but it's like a thing. Every one that I've been to, and I've only been to like 2, but every one that I've been to, like they're actually like doing, like they're seriously doing yoga and then they drink beer. But I want to like at the same time and not really care about the yoga part as much.
Yeah, I hear you.
That seems to be somewhat frowned upon.
Yeah, it's because you don't live in Wisconsin. What are you? Okay, so this is a topic that's come up recently that is very interesting to me. What are your like booze laws? When can you start buying beer? When does it stop? And are there any days of the week in which you can't?
Well, it depends on what part.
Because you have dry counties, right?
You're from.
No, I don't think so you can buy beer and wine in any gas station here.
Okay.
You can buy that anytime, 24 hours. And then actual like hard liquor, you have to go to the ABC store for. Okay. And those are only open like 9 a.m. to like 9 p.m. on Monday through Friday. And then I think weekends Saturday might be the same, but I think Sunday they don't open till like Sunday they're closed.
No. Are you sure?
Or do they open at noon?
No, I think they're open because there's no like, because some places have like where you can't buy alcohol on Sundays.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think they have that here.
Okay. Maybe I think it's shorter hours on Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, this is reaffirming. We're not alcoholics.
No, yeah, totally, for sure. You can buy liquor in Walgreens here.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Oh, you can? Okay. Because a lot of states, like I think...
no, wait, liquor or beer?
Oh, no, you can get hard liquor. There's like a Jameson aisle.
Shit.
At a
Right.
Walgreens? Okay. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
we can't do hard liquor there. We can
Yeah.
get beer.
Well, that's like when we went to NOLA that one time, and that was a Walgreens, right?
Yeah,
We went to a Walgreens, and it was like hard liquor, tequila, all of the above.
but Virginia's not that level.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, Wisconsin's on a different level. Like liquor stores open at 8 a.m.
NOLA has drive-through daiquiri shops.
Mm-hmm.
Texas has drive-through liquor stores, which I think is strange. We haven't gotten
We
to
used
that
to have
point
them
yet,
here.
but you
Yeah.
can't be outside 2 months out of the year.
Yeah.
All right, let's actually talk about the movie now.
Okay.
No more sidetracks.
Movie? Okay.
We're,
Wait,
talk-
what are we doing?
we're talking about Us. I hate this movie. Changed my mind.
You hate it?
Shit.
I watched it one time, not of legal standards. And I was like, I really want to watch this again. So when you guys wanted to watch it, I got very excited.
Yeah.
I fucking hate this movie.
All right.
Changed my mind.
You're like that meme, and you're sitting at the table, and you're just like, I hate us. Change my mind.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, towards the end, and I'm like, wow, I'm really glad that they hated the babysitter because I liked it, and I hate this. Fix it.
I kept waiting for Mandymore's husband to die. I heard something about a crockpot fire. I was completely confused by this.
What?
Oh, This Is Us, is it?
Oh, God.
Oh.
I was like,
wait.
can you
I didn't
watch?
know. I didn't know Mandy Moore was in This Is Us.
Yeah.
Because I'm straight.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, drink.
Mandymore is a delight.
No, she is. She's a super cute girl, I guess, and wrote acceptable music.
I don't know about that, but whatever.
I don't know either. I think when she was writing music, I was going to like Slayer shows and stuff.
I mean, she's a couple notches up on your metal band chart. You know, she's probably still in the gray area there.
Maybe more metal.
Mandymore metal.
More metal. Oh wow. Yeah.
If that's
So
a band name by next week, it's gonna be because that's too good not to use.
this podcast is just ripe with show and band names. We came up
So-
with Gwen Stefani's Bush here.
Gwen Stefani's Bush.
Yeah, it's a Bush cover band with Gwen Stefani as the singer. Yeah. Anyways, sorry. I'll stop. So, by the way, and we're 100% spoils. You can spoil everything.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It's fine.
alright,
Yeah.
cool.
Don't hold back.
Good. So I have to ask my follow-up question to you saying that you hate Us.
It's 8 inches.
Did you?
Oh, sorry.
Did you also,
Oh, the movie. Sorry. Okay.
Did you also hate Get Out?
I didn't like it as much as everyone else did.
Yeah,
So
I didn't either.
having seen Us one time through, I was like, well, I want to rewatch it because now that I know what the twist is at the end, how
There was a twist.
everyone stood around and they did the twist,
Yeah.
and
played
Dancing at the end.
there was a whole dance sequence,
Yeah.
which I did think that was stupid because there kind of was, but having known what the twist was, I wanted to watch it again and kind of pick up the subtleties. So like when she's told that they're going back to Santa Cruz and like the look on her face.
Yeah.
But my biggest complaint, sorry, I'm just skipping through everything and going straight to what I hate.
Yeah.
When they first broke into the house, why wasn't she just like, bitch, why? Oh, sorry. Schlitzy's in the chat. He says he hasn't seen Us. I'm going to ruin it for you. But
Yeah, this is what we do here, so we apologize.
oh, damn it. He's going to leave. He doesn't want spoilers. Schlitzy, watch Us and then listen to this. We'll talk about it next weekend. We're going to Flashback Weekend in Chicago next weekend. So what I didn't like is when they first show up at the house and the voice thing. I get why she did that, because she got but why wasn't she just like, hey, like fucking I'm here to kill your entire family because of what you did? Why like all this cryptic rhyme shit? And it's like I just
That's the artistic license of it. The problem is that for me, it completely ruined any suspense as to what it was. It was very obvious from the beginning when she sees herself in the mirror or whatever that it's going to be that they've switched. That just there was no way to not know that was going to happen.
Yeah. I don't think the twist was really that much of a twist.
Right. It's a realization for the son.
Yeah.
If it was just them telling us at the end, that would be one thing, but they were showing us the perspective that the son had kind of figured it out, and she looked at him and just kind of dealt with it. It doesn't mean that she's not his mom, so he's got to live with that as well, is that this person that he's known his whole life is not the person that everybody else knew before that, but it is still his mother. It's his sister's mother. The whole family and everything came from her.
Right.
But he does realize that she is the cause, essentially, of all of the stuff that happened that night.
Right.
And in that regard, the twist isn't as important, but it was so telegraphed by the fact that she's the only one that talks, and everybody else just grunts.
And that's the other thing. Like, everyone else seems so prehistoric ape-like, and she somehow is like a free-thinking, independent woman who don't need no man.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I think that probably stemmed from her having outside world experience.
Yeah.
Before, because they swapped.
Yeah, having
So
like 6 years of development above
she
ground.
had more development than the rest of the people did.
But what about the initial? So the first, before they swapped, that girl like had some inkling that her, you know what I mean? Like, I just.
Yeah.
Because when you see her like switch, and then she walks towards the stairs and goes up, and then there's like a sense of purpose. It wasn't kind of where everyone else was just moving because their tethered self was moving too. She was like going there with a purpose, and I don't know.
She still may have been special.
No, but I wonder if you are looking at the control from the wrong angle, though, Matt, because I took it as we above ground people move because our tethered selves below ground move, and they're being like made to move or guided by whoever, whatever sort of weird entity is controlling the underworld people. So like the reason that we marry the people that we marry, the reason that we, do the things that we do are because we're being controlled by those underworld people who are being controlled by some sort of secret government.
So the point would be that they are creating whatever government or whatever this is has created these tethers is to control the people that are above ground.
So like that whole monologue that Lupita Nyong'o does in the beginning is like, I took that to mean like she was paired off with the dark version of Winston Duke, and they had a family so that Lupita did that above, and like that it was like a control thing. Not that Lupita was making choices of her own free will.
Yeah, what it seemed to be saying, from what I gathered of it, is that the people that were created as clones, because that's what they said, they were made by humans.
Yeah.
And it was in a sense to control the people above, but then they lost sight of the experiment and they just let them continue on down there, and that's why things got overrun. That's why there were multiple bunnies everywhere from the experiments. But they didn't have souls of their own. They were tethered to the people above, and so they emulated what they did above. And so when she married, it was because up above the person got married. Their kids that were born became very similar as well. It's still in the tethering, but because they don't have a soul, they assume that in killing the people above, they will start to gain some of that away from them. They're not going to be controlled anymore. They can build up their own power. I think in her character's case, what happened is that because they switched places and the other girl went down underneath, she became less powerful as the girl above became more powerful, and it was her that wanted to dance. She makes that statement of like, it's because of you dancing that I learned to dance, because it was nothing that I had done before. So being above ground gave her abilities and strength and stuff that she wouldn't have had otherwise. And that's that sense of the movie is about privilege. The privilege of being above ground versus being below ground, being one of the real people, being one of the fake people, and how that's seen. And when they're talking about, we're Americans, it's like we have everything that you have except for these inalienable rights because you treat us like we're subhuman, even though you didn't know we were there. So it's to try to take that back is what the push of the film is. I get all of that. And that's why I don't see the twist as being that important. It's not like an M. Night Shyamalan twist where the whole movie hinges on this thing having happened. but it also hinges on you not knowing it until the end and him suddenly explaining it to you and you being enlightened of like, oh, fuck, dead all the time. All right, sure. This was, that's there, but the story is still about what these people were trying to take over and what they didn't have to what they're now going to try to gain. And the whole thing about Hands Across America is this joining up of like showing who they are to the world. And emulating this thing that she saw when in 1986, the last thing she went down there where she had this idea of it. But it's basically a we're here moment is we exist. This is a Black Lives Matter kind of thing. And that paints the picture of you didn't care that we were here. You didn't know we were here. Doesn't matter as much as you wouldn't have cared anyways. You would not give up what you were for us. So we're taking it and we're joining together. And now you can't ignore who we are anymore. I think.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you as far as the whole thing hinging on privilege. The Hands Across America thing was a little bit that was probably the one element that it was hard for me to connect with.
Right.
Because it seemed a little kitschy.
It's only because of the fact that it happened in 1986 at the same time that she was
right.
Yeah.
Traded off.
Right. Yeah.
So
and because powerful visual.
How come if your above world self would headbutt your tethered self? Okay, so the dad, I'm fucking horrendous with names.
Winston Duke.
Fine.
I know his name is smoking hot.
Corey's really good with names too, and I'm like, I don't know that one. So the dad, Gabe, let's call him by his movie name, headbutts the boat, and his tethered self, Abraham, which they all have names, which I thought was strange. Thanks, Wikipedia. He headbutts the boat, and his tethered self falls off and gets hurt. How come if you hurt yourself, the tethered self gets hurt, but if the tethered self fucking murders you, they don't die? Yeah,
because when they murder you, they're taking all of the feelings into themselves, and maybe it hurts for a moment, but they're not physically getting killed, and so they can get past it. But it's that was an emulation for that particular person when the son notices that the other little boy, Pluto, I think, moves when he moves. So he emulates him in movement, but not necessarily in the I feel pain, you feel pain.
Yeah.
The daughter
a feeling connection.
See, I don't know if I can get behind that. It's like only bits and pieces where you connect up with the person and you have like total. So the Pluto is snapping or whatever, and that's when he figures out that it's a trap or whatever, and he gets out, and all of a sudden he can control him. Like I don't get like.
But I think it's because it's a trained behavior, like it's a learned behavior. To me, it was very clear that there was a presence there with the bunnies. Like Corey was talking about how the bunnies are all kind of overrun and doing their own thing. To me, it was very clear that there was some sort of controlling presence that was there underground that now is not there anymore. So maybe the little boy following the other little boy's movement is because he's been trained over years and years and brainwashed to follow those movements.
When you see her as a little girl walking through the hallways down underneath, you see everybody kind of like from the carnival doing what the people above were doing. If they're eating sloppy stuff and everything. If they're kissing, it's a weird factor, but they are doing the same things that is happening up above.
But they're maybe not feeling the same thing. It's just a shell.
Right.
Just a shell action. Like I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm doing it.
Right.
Because they have no existence of their own.
Down below, that it was their action that keeps the people up above doing what they're destined to do or whatever. Like it's a control thing. Right.
She had to teach them how to have a free will enough to go up and do something about what was happening to them.
Right.
I see
what you're saying though, because it makes sense. Like if why wouldn't they just mimic each other's movements all the time?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like, so if I cut myself or do whatever, like, why wouldn't that hurt the other person? Or like, you know what I mean? So I get that point. And they don't really explain a lot about that part of the connection, but I don't know that it's necessarily, for me, I don't think it was that important. For me, I just interpreted it as maybe there had to be a certain like focus or intention or something that like activated that. I don't know, but that's sort of the vibe that I got from it.
Yeah, and also I think different characters are weaker than others. So the daughter seems very strong and very conniving and hardcore, does not give up on anything. Whereas the daughter from the up world basically had been giving up on the things that she liked to do. She was losing what was the parts of her that kind of were her thing, like the running. She didn't want to do running anymore. And she was always kind of looking and feeling like she was less than like the twin girls and stuff. As she was watching them, she didn't feel like she belonged. She lost confidence. The daughter below had all the confidence in the world and had the strength to keep coming after her. The dad seemed very weak-willed, but the dad above kind of seemed weak-willed because he didn't have a lot of confidence and was always competing with his coworker that had more money than him, that had the nicer car, had the nicer boat. And the one underneath seemed to have a lot of the same issues, but his weakness made his abilities less strong. The son was just like, he didn't know how to do stuff for himself except to destroy things. And so he's mocking the other little boy. He's copying what he's doing, but he's doing it because he's still in a learning position. I think each of the different people, it kind of shows where they're coming from is to the personalities that they had above. So not everybody's going to be the same, but she had to teach them free will. And I think probably the younger characters maybe took that teaching better than the adult characters did. Because when she was down there, the Abraham would have already been born. He would have already been cloned. But the kids are kids that they had together. So they would have had some of her DNA essentially as an up top person would have been part of who they were, as opposed to Abraham, who was only ever a clone. But we're reading a lot into this, which is probably too much for what the story itself is trying to say.
Isn't that why people come to this show?
No, they say, "Hey, did you guys try this in your Burger King tacos yet?"
Say, normally, I almost did.
Mm-hmm.
Katie, did you say you did?
No, I said, "Oh shit," because I knocked my.
She said,
my
"Oh,
drink
sorry."
over.
Oh, sorry. Really wanted to know if that Taco Bell taco was any, or the Burger King taco was any good.
I mean,
Wait, what?
Burger King has tacos now.
Burger King has tacos.
Yeah, KFC has Cheetos on sandwiches. Burger King has tacos.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. This is what happens when you start legalizing pot in states.
I didn't know Burger King had tacos. That doesn't feel right.
No.
I heard it's not very good, but for $1, I could do worse.
That's like when Taco Bell had when they started doing the nacho fries. They're absolutely disgusting, but people fucking love them, and I don't know.
Watch your tongue when you talk about Taco Bell.
No, I love Taco Bell. Has been there for me.
I want to try the Reaper Ranch steak fries, or the Reaper Ranch fries, the ones that you're talking about. So the fries just with hot ranch on it.
Yeah.
I heard whatever. I'll try anything once. What's that?
Do they use the taco seasoning on them?
Yeah, so they make fries and then put taco seasoning on the fries, and then put steak on it, which I don't think is real meat.
Yeah. I could get down with like French fries with taco seasoning on them.
Yeah, but you could just do this at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a certain amount of like, I could just fucking do this at home.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, what if you just took fries as a base and did them as nachos? Like,
did you just say we should freebase fries?
No, if you took fries and used them as a base as nachos as opposed to using tortilla chips.
Do it with tater tots like an adult.
Except do with taco meat.
You got to make tater tachos.
I have had that. That is
So goddamn good.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't that just cheese fries though?
No, but they're tater tots.
Yeah, it's different.
Fries layered up, like.
Well, yeah, but if you put the taco meat and maybe sour cream, black beans or something. Yeah. It depends on what you do with your nachos.
But the way that you load cheese fries is to put bacon on, not taco meat. But I could get down with taco meat.
I mean, yeah, I could get, yeah.
You're going to need a spoon, for sure.
Right. Yeah, they're going to be sloppy.
Yeah.
But that means you don't have to share.
No, I went to a restaurant the other day and ordered a salad, and they gave me a spoon to eat my salad with.
They were mocking you.
They were like,
Like, figure this one the fuck out, bud.
How old is that lettuce? Like,
it was like a mush soup.
it was a salad,
Yeah,
not
it
like
was
a
a
chia
salad.
bowl.
No, it was a salad. It had lettuce, and it was at American Tandoor at the mall, and I ordered some sort of whatever the salad was, and it came with a big ass spoon, like a fucking ladle spoon at that. It wasn't like it was like a big ass spoon. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? I'm like,
that was them disrespecting you, sir. That was them saying, yeah, just pour this into your gullet.
There is something so
American
innocent
man.
about when you guys say fuck with your southern accent that it makes me giggle every time. Like,
Excellent.
yeah, if you were like if you were like really just laying into me, you'd be like, fuck you, man. I'd just be like, you're so cute.
See, that's how my relationships work. Actually, that's how it works.
Do you have a therapist? If not, you should get one. Get a good
she
one.
does actually.
I listened to
I
your
do.
show. You got her email, I heard.
My therapist is alarmingly like me, though. Like, she shows up for appointments like 15 minutes late. She'll text me and be like, "You want a coffee?" And I'm like,
if there's
Yeah.
one thing I hate in this world, it's people who aren't on time. I am so fucking anal about being on time. Sorry, Katie.
15 minutes late.
20 minutes actually, but who's counting?
"Yeah, I struggle with that a lot."
She
No,
does.
it's, the singer of our band, his name is Nate. We call him Late. Like, there was one show where we were having a serious discussion about playing the first song without vocals because we didn't know. He made it. He's literally, the guy is there when he needs to be there, but there are times where it's like, holy shit, I hope he makes it.
Yeah, he just leaves you guessing.
Well, we had a discussion, and his explanation, which I completely understand, is he goes, Monday through Friday, I have to pick my kids up, I have to drop my kids off, I have to be at work, I have to be at meetings. On the weekends, I'll fucking get there when I get there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, man. Like, he's never been late for anything. He's not there at the time he says he's going to be there, but he's never been late.
There you go.
Yeah.
See? He's just living, man.
He likes to make sure my heart still works.
Yeah. I feel for Nate.
He's a fucking sweet human being.
I am the Nate of this band. Kids.
I like to be punctual adjacent. So like I like to have like a 5-minute buffer.
Yeah.
Anything outside of that 5-minute buffer, I get
Nervous.
then I get nervous.
Yeah. I'll be there.
But
Real
this one,
Real
no.
close to on time, but definitely
No.
not wearing pants.
No, you tell me to be there at 8, I'll be there at 7:45.
Yeah.
And then I will sit there and wait until 5 minutes to.
I need that. Can I have like a blood transfusion or something, like, so that I can kind of like even
You want none of this. It takes 2 hours to mow
Blood
this
is like
lawn. You don't want that.
95% proof. It is not going to be good for you. You won't be able to
Just- Yeah. I don't know the last time I wasn't drunk. I'm actually kidding. Sometimes Corey makes comments about how he's there for me and I should stop drinking, and then I start to get really concerned, like, really he thinks that? And then I'm like, well, all this beer in my basement's not going to drink itself.
Man, I don't want to say that I don't think you're a lush. I'm just going to say I won't be there for you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Whatever. It's not like I've ever been late to work.
That's where the joke is.
Yeah, I'm too drunk to get your joke, so I just kind of overpassed that one.
I respect a drunk person who can be on time.
Well,
I should start drinking. Maybe that's my problem.
You just got to peel the 3 school kids off the front of their grill, and then it's like, well, he got here on time.
just get the economic Toyota RAV4 and they just roll underneath it.
That was not.
That took a dark turn. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did you guys wake up this morning and be like, wow, I really hope we talk about hitting kids with a car?
Well,
You know,
Oh, shit.
actually,
somehow we always find our way to child murder on our
Yeah,
show,
that's
and
true.
we are really trying to not be the child murder people. But
Is it
It's
weird
such
that
a
I listen to you
popular
guys on my way to
genre.
work? Like, I listen to you before I listen to anyone else.
what?
I generally listen to you guys on the way to work because I have to, like, catch up
Oh yeah,
now
yeah.
that I found you a little late in the game.
Mhm.
You ever feel like because I listen to podcasts on the way to work and stuff too. Do you ever feel like you're putting yourself in the wrong frame of mind to go in and do your job?
No, I was trying to listen to
this
Kenny, and you
podcast?
opened your fucking cocksucker.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I had to get real dad hard on him right then. What'd you say, Kenny?
What?
You were saying something, and then Corey rudely interrupted you.
I don't remember.
God damn it! Now I feel bad that I just dadded Corey for no reason.
You said something about you were late to listening to us, and I was like, oh, so you were late.
Oh.
Well, see, I don't have a start time at work. I just kind of, when I show up, I show up. So I physically cannot be late to work.
Can't be late. Okay.
Yeah.
So in line with this movie about privilege, we just heard about Matt's privilege, which is I'm never late. I just don't have to be there at any particular time.
That's why I get paid salary and fucking work most nights. And drink. I can drink while I'm working. It's okay.
I used to have a job like that. That was awesome.
Ambulance driver?
At the ice cream shop.
Oh.
Wait. Ice cream?
Yeah, I used to work at
And
the
full circle moment.
Yeah.
She used to lick the ice cream before she gave
No,
us.
I did not. I never wanted that. I only licked my own ice cream.
Two,
But
please.
I worked at an ice cream shop in our hometown.
That's
and it
a
was
talent
like,
that can be utilized. I feel.
yeah, I would only pre-lick people's ice cream if they asked me to and paid extra for that service.
Like the Belle Delphine kind of.
I actually think that there is a channel on the internet for this. You could charge
There is.
$4.99 a minute.
A channel.
You know what?
There-
That might be a revenue stream. Anyway,
Yeah.
I was working at this place and it was like a real like mom and pop type of institution in our town. Only it was like a one room sort of situation. There were windows all the way around it, and it was 112 degrees in there any given day. And so we ate as much ice cream as we could hold and sweat it out and never gained a
Jesus.
pound. And also drank wine out of a jar all day long.
I can't tell if Corey is raising the roof or wants to say
It was
something.
pretty much
No, I just wanted to
Oh.
offer if for your ice cream fetish channel, the title should be 32 Favors.
Oh.
oh my God.
Trademark
Marketing.
that shit quick. Trademark it and then sell it to her. Because you're sitting on a fucking gold mine.
It's gonna be like the ice cream fetish, like sugar daddy.
Yeah, it's going to be a feeder channel. And
That's our new can.
No,
yeah, that's our
I
new
can't do
show.
that though. Can I hire somebody? Can I have like a spittoon?
Wait,
Like for the
what is a stunt cock for a girl who feeds someone ice cream? A stunt scooper?
Oh, I would get to feed it to other people. All right, I'm cool with that. That works.
Wait. What if you were eating the ice cream and people were just paying to watch you eat ice cream?
That would be
But-
great, but I have to like do that on a really regimented schedule because I
There's
tend
also a-
to fluff up.
Oh.
Go ahead, Kenny.
But the thing is, though, is that with ice cream, it just gets so bad so quickly. You know what I mean? Like if it like gets warm and gets sticky and it
No,
gets,
I'm definitely
like, it gets
just eating it.
milky
Yeah,
and
no.
gets, like,
No,
it gets-
so here's what you do is you have
Very in the bedroom.
you have a channel where you're eating the ice cream.
Yeah.
And then you switch over to the one where you're in the shower because you got to fucking clean the ice cream off. You're hitting
And-
two markets at once. I'll be your manager for 10%. We're going to take the fucking world by storm.
Let's do this.
Yeah, this is going to be very easy. You know what? Sometimes you got hose them off Sundays. We just get a garden hose and just hose you off in the front yard.
You're missing the dominatrix aspect, which is where you tell other people to eat ice cream and you don't let them stop when they get their ice cream headache.
Oh, that's
only pussies get ice cream headaches.
empire, honestly. Like
Holy shit.
Eat
I
faster,
would do all of the graphic work for it. It would be great.
bite with your teeth.
So we got to turn into the podcast of dominatrices. Dominatrices.
Dominate.
Dominatrices. Even if I was sober, I wouldn't be able to say that word.
Then it would just be called pod.
Pod, yeah. Instead of pot, it's pod.
Maybe a podcast. That'll never catch on.
Dude, okay. Let me. Someone I work with is trying to start a podcast where it's just basically a radio show of new music, but it's a podcast form.
Oh.
Do you think this would work? So basically, he wants to do like 5 different shows of different genres of music. The person who hosts that show goes to find new bands for each episode. Do you think this could work? Like, I think in its raw form, it's fine, but you're going to start running into licensing issues.
Hell yeah, you're going to start running into fucking licensing issues?
Yes.
That sounds so expensive.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It just seems... you could maybe make it work like in seasons, but you would have to do a shitload of work actually like reaching out to bands and finding bands that would want you to play their music.
And you have to get signatures.
On the podcast.
Sure, don't say that, Katie. We've had bands on our podcast.
Your paperwork would have to be tight. It would seriously. You'd have to always, at any moment's notice, be ready to show that you've got signatures from the people who are in charge of that band's marketing to say that it's okay to be played as part of your podcast.
I tried explaining it to him. I'm like, our music is licensed. It's not fucking hard to do. You say, hey, I'd like to check the box that says license my music.
Yeah.
It's not like it used to be. Yeah. All right. That was a side rant. But back to this movie. Where are we?
I completely forgot where we were.
No, I'm sorry. I'm trying really hard to stay on task and...
We were talking about
the emulation.
Yeah, we were talking about you feeding people ice cream, so we're just off topic again.
Where are we at in your level of hate for this movie? Have we pushed it back some, or
no? In talking, I think I've pretty much come to grips with the fact that I'm just not smart enough to get this movie, which isn't a bad. I like things at face value. Like, I want to watch a movie. I don't want to think a ton about it. Like, just spoon feed me what's happening, but I still want it to be entertaining. I don't want to have to think about the fact that it's like, why are you fucking wearing red? They didn't explain that. Why the fuck is everyone wearing scissors, or they're holding scissors and wearing fingerless driving gloves? You're not fucking driving, you're holding hands.
Well, I think the scissors was like...
symbolic of cutting the tether. I did get that this time through.
Yeah.
But...
glove... I don't know. Some things that I think you just don't need to think about so much, like the red.
I don't remember the glove. I don't remember.
They're little brown, like driving.
No. I remember them wearing them, but I don't remember like where they came from. So,
but honestly, though, my thought, like with the red suits, was I thought that was probably just leftover shit from whoever was in control.
Yeah.
Like maybe that was leftover uniforms for whatever government agency was working down there with them, and then whatever happened to them, they disappeared. That's all.
Good point.
And it seems like having uniforms means that you can't mistake them for who they are. So when they do make that statement at the end, they all are uniformly dressed to game so that you understand this is who we are. You can't deny us.
Which is fine, but take 5 goddamn seconds to be like, and we wore red so that they would know who we are.
Well, isn't the red kind of reminiscent of the Handmaid's Tale?
I was told to watch it, but I never watched it.
I haven't watched it either, but it is they all dress in red in it.
I mean, typically, red is typically seen as an aggressive color anyway, and like a very, like.
Oh, Katie's wearing red. She's about to get aggressive.
It might be the like raised Southern Baptist in me, but there's also merit to like using the red as a cleansed in the blood sort of statement.
Yeah.
Because they're starting anew.
There's not a gap down there. I mean, maybe there is a underground gap where underground gap workers act exactly as interested in helping people as the gap workers up above. But, it's like they go with what you got.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think hearing you say that, Matt, that you like your horror at face value, which I totally get.
Yeah.
And you don't like sitting and having to chew on all the various, like how this fits together with this and how this could mean this. I think that his movies are sort of meant to be that. He loves symbolism. He loves Get Out was way too heavy with obvious symbolism. And I'm a person who loves obvious symbolism, but Get Out was even too much for me. Like, it's ridiculous. I mean, you have a scene where the girl who is crazy racist is eating her Fruit Loops separate from her milk.
I haven't seen Get Out, but I heard that he did this in the sense that he wanted to have a more straightforward horror movie where it couldn't be mistaken as being some other genre.
Yeah.
And there are things in this that are genuinely terrifying. The family standing in front of the house in the dark and not moving and not reacting to being told to go off, not being reactive to saying the police are coming. They don't care. That is scary as hell.
Yeah, for me,
Lupita Nyong'o's first words, the underground version, very scary.
So for me, the twist at the end wasn't as big of a twist as the mid-movie twist, where you realize that it's not just that family, that it's
everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
That was more impactful to me because that got me more than the end, because I was like, because through it, I'm like, damn, where are these cops at? I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, where are they at? And then it's like, oh shit. So
it's happening everywhere. Yeah.
That got me. And just speaking about things that were really terrifying, like for me in this movie, one was the little kid with the mask. Absolutely loved it. Scared the shit out of me, but I loved him. His like physical acting skills were so great, and his movements were just blew me away. That and the twins, their movements. See, that's what I like. What I love out of horror isn't necessarily I like the details like that. So I like the movements that actors can make, or I like the setting. I pay attention to like the color stories going on in the background, the mood setting, and things like that versus like dialogue or, you know what I mean? And that sort of thing.
Yeah. And
that got me.
I feel a little disappointed in the way that the other family was shown, because their deaths just happened so quickly. There's no toying with them in the way that happens to the initial family. Yeah. And it's just like they show up, they're killed, but you do get to see some good stuff of the Elizabeth Moss character's twin, essentially, when she's trying to cut open her face to fix things that maybe she didn't think she needed corrected, but happened because the person above did it. And so she's kind of like she's changing stuff on her looks at that point.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool, but otherwise it's just like everybody else gets slaughtered really quick, and this family is getting toyed with. And the only reason that makes sense is because the one person who really instigated this has such a vendetta against the person who she's going after, and the family kind of follow along with that. But everybody else is just like, hey, here's somebody who looks like me, and now I'm dead.
I like that, though, because the first half, you get that slow, like, they're not really, like, doing anything. You're like, are they there to really kill them or what? And then, like, that second half, you just sort of get, like, good old-fashioned, like, I'm just here to, like, fuck you up and, like, kill your ass. You know what I mean?
Well, too, what Corey was saying about, like, with the family that the film centers on, that's the only situation where the underground person and the above ground person have met before.
Yeah.
Right.
And they obviously switch places, but that's the only situation where they've actually come face to face. So both of the mother characters in this know what's going on, and nobody else does.
But I do think the scene with the other family, when they show up there, if we hadn't seen that murder happen, it's a good scene. The characterization of the husband and wife and everything, it's a very good scene. But if we hadn't seen that happen, we just saw the family show up and find them and then realize that it's not really them. Mm-hmm. And then seeing the bodies and stuff and getting the aftermath, it would have been more impactful. It would have been more terrifying of that moment without having it kind of spelled out for us first. So I don't think that one is necessarily better than the other, but if I'm looking for a movie to scare me, that probably would have scared me more if it had been utilized differently.
Yeah. I can kind of see what you're saying. So you're saying it would be more scary if we hadn't seen their murders, but then seeing their murders is kind of like a little bit of showboating and a little bit of like comedy, because there was a whole lot of comedy in that particular scene, which I really liked, but I think that was potentially flexing more comedy muscles than horror muscles.
Which, again, I'm not not belittling that at all. I mean, Jordan Peele has a huge history of comedy and is fantastic at it. And those little light bits of like Ophelia or whatever the name of the Alexa thing was, call the police, and it starts playing "Fuck the Police."
Yeah.
I had a great laugh at that.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was like one of my favorite parts of the movie.
But it is a part that is defeating the tension with a comedy gag that isn't really deserved so much, but it's just funny. It's just like, okay, yeah, that's great. That is hilarious. I can laugh through the fact that I just watched a family get killed.
Absolutely. Yeah. I see what you're saying. I think that's an important point to make, that I do think that there are times that in this particular film, and also in Get Out, that true horror is sacrificed for the sake of a comedic gag. The difference is that I'm like totally fine with that.
Right.
Like, and prefer it that way because I love horror comedy. That's my thing. But I definitely get that kind of undercuts it.
Yeah, I'm glad that it's not a one-note movie the whole way through. It seemed to move slow for me until the other family shows up, or not until the other family shows up, but until the us shows up. And so having those breaks and having the characterization of the family and stuff, even just the way they're talking to each other and they're just like telling the dad, no more boats, the boats are lame. Those moments are great moments because it allows you to kind of have the ups and downs of like, I'm watching something that would otherwise sicken me. Yeah. But at least now I can find it palatable because of these things that are interspersed in this. So it's definitely not to demean what it does. It's just, when I think about it, how would I have expected that scene to go? Being scared probably would have been more worthwhile to me if I was making the film. But I couldn't have come up with some of the other stuff that this guy did. This is genius shit.
Speaking of boats, Drive It. Work's calling me.
Okay. But yeah, so like I said, I haven't seen Get Out, and I don't have the background to know like the criticisms that people may have had of that film and what led Jordan to doing this one. But it really felt in so many ways like what he was doing, what he was presenting, everything mattered. Yeah. And even when you're honing in on the TV at the very, very beginning, they're talking about Hands Across America, but you're looking to the left of the TV, you're seeing videotapes, and there's like Chud was one of the tapes there and stuff.
Yeah, the Goonies was on there too.
Yep. And she's wearing a Thriller t-shirt, which it took me a while to realize that it was Thriller, the Michael Jackson album / video, and not just like a thing about horror movies. But it's still like, it makes sense that she would like it for the Michael Jackson reasons as well as maybe the horror movie reasons. The mom's like, doesn't that kind of give her nightmares? It's like, yeah. The Thriller was scary when that video came out, but it was also such a huge moment for music television, and for filmmaking, and for Michael Jackson, who was already an icon. So for all of these reasons, that makes total sense as what that shirt is. I kind of missed what the shirt was that the girl underground was wearing in reflection of it, because I know she switched shirts, but
she was wearing, it was a Hands Across the World. No. Wasn't it a Hands Across?
I think they're wearing it underneath the other shirt. It was what she was wearing, a Hands Across America shirt, and then put the Thriller shirt on over it. Mm-hmm. And so when she leaves, the Hands Across America shirt is in the closet, but she had taken the Thriller shirt, but she was wearing a black shirt that almost looked the same, but not quite. And I kind of want to go back and see if I can figure out what that shirt is now.
I bet you it's important. He loves to do, he's been criticized, Phil's been criticized a lot for having like very obvious symbolism, like that type of thing. And like having, like, I talked to somebody who saw the movie and didn't like the scene where you're looking at the TV watching the Hands Across America commercial and all of the like cave dwelling type things and like the Goonies and things like that, references to sort of like underground stuff. Like that person that I talked to said that was like super heavy handed and like terrible.
But isn't that the same kind of feeling as like watching Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Like Stranger Things is built so heavily on nostalgia.
Oh yeah.
But it's taking all of those things that it's nostalgic for and presenting you a great example of what worked about all of them.
Yeah.
and doing it with really well written characters and well acted parts and all these things. So if you do it and you do it well, it's fine. If you're doing it just as shorthand, that would be one thing. And if he was doing a shorthand movie of like, oh, it's the Morlocks and that's all it is, but he delves into so many different feelings and ideas in this that
Right.
I think the sum of the parts is made up to be a great thing. You know,
Yeah.
it's not just like I did it to throw it in there, but it doesn't fucking matter. It's not
Right.
like
All of it connects. That's
Right.
my thing, is that like if you were throwing shit in that doesn't connect and that isn't like that doesn't work, that doesn't really actually tie in, then I would be irritated by it. But all of his references tie in.
Yeah.
And I think it's fine that his symbolism is obvious because it's not like I don't think he's not trying to give you a realistic movie. Like he's not in realism.
he's trying to evoke feelings and thoughts, and I think that this movie does both those things really well.
Yeah, totally. But I could also see, I guess I kind of see Matt's point that while I really like that sort of like feelings and thoughts and teasing out these like the symbolism and things like that, I could totally see how another like horror movie enthusiast could get super impatient with all of that.
In terms of it being like a horror movie, I thought it was good, but I knew, like, having seen Get Out, that there was so much more to it. And
Yeah.
If there's one thing I hate, it's like not having a question answered, especially when some people get it or some people can form an opinion. But I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm not the world's smartest person, and I don't really give a shit to try and figure out what you're trying to fucking say. So just come out and fucking say it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't like the fact when people are like, oh, I listened to it and I got this out of it. It's like, why not just figure out what the person fucking meant? Instead of being like, well, you know, he farted at 45 seconds and I feel like that was a representation of him as a human being and his growing up. It's like, what? That's probably the furthest thing from the truth. Like, I just want to know what the person was thinking. That's the same thing with music. And I always turn shit to music because that's what I do. But it's like, why did you wrote this song and these are the lyrics? What did you mean by that? Why did you mean it that way? I don't want to be like, well, I took it as that. And it's like, I get.
But what if the person who's creating it is creating it with a mindset of you
figure it out?
Pulling your own, like, pulling yourself out of it.
Yeah. And I completely understand that a lot of times that happens, but as me as a human being, like, I just want to know what you meant.
Yeah.
Because regardless of what you meant, that still has a timestamp in my life. Like, there's this band 36 Crazy Fists. I don't know if you've probably never heard of them, but they put out this record in like the early thousands, and I think it's really fucking good. I still listen to it now, and there's some lyrics that I think are really good, and I don't care what they meant, but they still remind me of the early thousands when I was still in high school and like going to shows with my friends and all that shit. And it's like, I don't fucking care what he really meant.
Right.
But it still takes me back to that. Like that's me. Like I'm with someone, I understand everyone's different and art reaches everyone differently. This is just how it affects me.
Yeah.
Well, so Matt and I did a review of The Shining at the end of last year. I think it was right about the time that I moved out here. And in watching The Shining, I watched Room 222 or whatever it is, or the number
31,
something that is the.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
It's basically a documentary about all these different people who have their views as to what The Shining's actually about, like their theories of, oh, he uses red in these things because of this, or the Indian on the canisters is meant to represent this, and they're all really interesting takes on what The Shining could be or what Kubrick could have been saying in the way he was making the film, but they can't all be right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
in fact, most of them can't be near each other. If one's right, then the other one has to be wrong.
Right.
But it's so much to put on this movie that is looked at as such a genius film, where it's like, maybe he just used those cans because it was cheap and he could get it to be stocked in that kitchen without having to spend $2 for Arm & Hammer. I don't know, but you are probably overthinking this shit to such a degree that he never did, and he looks like way bigger a genius than he actually was for just making a decent film.
Well, with The Shining, some of that shit was done intentionally. Like
Some of it, right?
To be intentionally misleading, so that people would have diametrically opposed viewpoints, but both of the viewpoints are validated by different points in the film intentionally, so that people kind of couldn't come to a consensus.
Right, and maybe that is
your own brain.
This movie I've heard is compared to The Shining in some ways, like it's compared to a lot of other things. And Jordan Peele has said that everything he did in this was very intentional, but maybe it's the same sort of thing. Is like he's putting stuff in there that builds the idea of symbolism that he doesn't care what the symbolism is. He's just like, people are going to talk about it, and talking about it is going to make it get more appeal and have a broader audience than anything I can do in the film itself.
Yeah. That's quite possible, actually. By the way, room 237.
That was close.
You were so close. 237.
I'm just allergic to the number 222. So, and I know that it pops up in films a lot, but so I grasped. But
wow.
And I think that's the problem that Matt has, is that he thinks that the expectation is that he has to watch his film and view it with a critical eye for these things that are like, oh, well, I saw it and I this is what this symbolism meant and things like that. And that's not necessary to just enjoy the movie. It's like we do the show. We know we're not the deepest thinkers when it comes to filmmaking. We are friends with much deeper thinkers. We come at it as like, I just like this movie. I would watch it again, or I wouldn't watch it again. I want to burn this in effigy. That's okay. It's just,
I want to know what Kenny thinks, because I'm starting to see that Katie is the Corey,
right?
And he never gets to fucking talk.
Corey and I screaming at each other.
No, that's fine. That's totally why I could just get up and walk away and no one even missed me.
I'm Katie's tether, actually.
Oh shit!
Oh God! Ooh. I'm sorry.
No wonder I spent so much time in a fast food restaurant. Corey's tether. But
you eat, I get fatter.
Hey man, I'm no fucking spring angel over here.
What if we were you guys' tether?
One of you masturbates a lot.
That's why we were late for the show.
Might need
no, that's fun.
Different distinguisher.
All right, so both of you. Okay. One of you poops a lot.
I used to, but
okay. You're good now. Less cheese.
I'm very regular.
So am I. I have regular meetings every day.
No, but what my point on what, or my view on what? I missed that completely.
No, dude, you're okay. So Kenny and I are very much alike. We're just like, you said words. I didn't understand what you were saying. I just wanted to give you a chance to talk. I mean, Corey and Katie have been. They talk like they got a fucking monthly book club. Love you.
See, you fucked him up.
I put him on the spot. No, it's all right, bud. You can. You want to give me like your favorite cookie recipe? We can go that route instead.
I don't have a favorite cookie
He's not
recipe.
a cookie guy.
No, I don't really.
What's your snack of choice?
My snack of choice?
Yeah.
Oh wow. So that
you better point to your left, buddy.
That really depends.
You guys know we're not like.
Yeah, no, I know that. Corey doesn't apparently.
Wait, what's not a thing?
I think Corey thought you two were dating.
Oh. No, we're not. He's gay.
Okay.
Oh, I'm aware.
I was not.
No. See, most people think that we're dating.
He'd never be that way.
Work together. What?
to say, they said that when you were asked what your snack of choice is, that you should point to me.
Oh no!
But
No.
To them that he would never be that kind to me of his own volition, and
Yeah.
if he was,
Especially if you were dating.
Kenny, if I were gay, you'd be my type, bud. I just want to throw that out there. You're a sweetheart, man.
I'm not gay,
I
but
like you a lot. That's whatever. You know what?
Right.
If I'm thinking about hopping the fence, I'll give you a call.
I'm glad we got it.
We digress very quickly. I'm sorry. Your food snack of choice.
Turns. Snack of choice. Not you, unfortunately.
Sorry, Katie.
Can't please everybody.
If I'm single, I'll give you a call.
So I like.
I said if I'm single, I'll give you a call.
Okay.
How's that a prize?
It's like second place. I'm sorry.
I'm really glad.
I'm just trying to get my snack of choice.
I know, right? I'm buying you some time to get like solid thought into this.
Barbecue chips.
There you
I
go.
love a good
Lay's,
barbecue chips.
lightly salted, regular salted. We got to get deep into this one.
Do they salt barbecue?
Wait.
chips?
Oh, I mean, it's just.
They make lightly
Listen,
salted here because we eat a lot of cheese and we need the lightly salted.
I will live I love just about everything. There is not a food that I will not.
But you have what is your chicken wing policy?
My chicken wing policy?
Yeah.
I have none. What do you mean?
I mean, this is literally your opportunity to tell me how much you love chicken wings.
I absolutely love
Equal
chicken.
opportunity.
So I do prefer the drum versus.
Ooh, my guy. I do not like the flats, but I have a method to eating them, so I can still drink my beer.
Right. So to me, the flats are difficult to eat. So
I like the flats because you get to hollow out all the meat.
Nope.
And
Here's what you do. You find the smaller of the two sides. You grab the bottom and you take it with your teeth and you break it in half.
Yep.
You pull them apart. You set the other one down and then you suck it off.
Yep.
And then the other side, so
I
that
like
you're.
to force my tongue through the bones though, and then siphon out the meat.
You know what? Before when I said if I was single, I'd give you a call. You got a little too weird. I'm
That is why he's done a consolation
offers
prize.
off. Although she likes to put her tongue into weird places, so maybe she's down.
And I will just say I cannot eat bone-in wings. Can't do
I
it.
I have a fucking bone-in drumstick tattooed on my leg.
Yeah, that's beautiful for your leg, but I can't do it. The bone and the sinew and everything. I can't.
Kenny looks like he has a question, and Corey won't fucking shut up.
No, I was just. You have a tattoo of a chicken wing on your leg?
Yes, with eyes and a mouth.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is it the gristle that's the problem with the bone-in?
It's all of it. I don't like eating stuff that I recognize the creature it came from. If I
fucking have 9 chickens, and I eat chicken wings once a week.
Yeah. You have that capability. I don't. I can't do it. My mom once told me while I was eating meatloaf, she reminded me of.
I'm pretty sure if you watch, you'll see a chicken walk by.
And I'm like, I can't fucking do this now, Mom. I'm going hungry for a week. She brought home a goddamn lobster because I want to try lobster, and she introduced it to me and made it dance. I went over to my friend's house and had soy burgers.
Was it
you know why?
Pinchy?
Because I've never met a soy.
Did she name it Pinchy?
No.
And then it lived in a bathtub in the living room?
No, when you boil them, the space between their shell and the meat of their body, the steam gets trapped in between there, and then it whistles as the lobster boils. So it sounds like the lobster is screaming.
It doesn't make them any less delicious.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's true.
Fuck. I love seafood so gosh damn much. You guys make me hungry.
I know. I'm like, shit.
I live nowhere near a Taco Bell either. I live nowhere near anything.
As a car drives behind you.
It's a state highway, but there's still nothing. There's a Subway 2 miles away. That's the closest thing.
See, Subway's good. You don't recognize any of that as real food.
Yeah, if you want to eat a fucking foam sub sandwich.
Right. Did this come
So
from
barbecue chips. All right, shut up, Corey.
Okay.
So barbecue chips.
Oh shit. Yeah. No, I like if I'm gonna have a chip, it's gonna be barbecue.
Okay.
I'm also big. I like jerky.
Ooh, all right. What kind of jerky?
Jerky. So actually, where I work, they have. I love just a standard Slim Jim.
Fucking grease meat.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay. All right, man. You like what you like.
At my work, they stock us with this honey sriracha gourmet, and it is amazing. It is, and it's but that's turkey jerky, but it's still really good.
Doesn't matter. Could you just read me the ingredients in a deep voice?
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Just read the ingredients.
just a real deep Southern accent.
That's another revenue stream, though.
Fuck! I should be writing these down. We're gonna be millionaires, guys. I just want to throw that out there. Did you ever know that you were going to be starting 7 new companies?
Yeah. There's the ice cream channel. There's the shopper after the ice cream channel. Now there's
there's the dominatrix channel where you tell people to eat ice cream and don't stop until you say, "Oh, it's okay." Now it's okay. So you eat ice cream, you shower, they eat ice cream. Kenny reads food ingredients in a deep Southern accent specifically beef jerky. So we technically have 5. All right.
That's like a network.
Yeah, we're gonna be really good. Watch out, you porn mate. Or so I've heard. That's the name of a website. I've never been there. Anyways, so jerky, honey sriracha jerky, chips.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much anything.
How much cheese is too much cheese before a date? Neither of you watch Sunny. Okay, all right, cool. And this is Always Sunny in Philadelphia reference. How much cheese is too much cheese before a date?
I didn't get that reference.
Any amount of cheese is too much cheese before a date?
Oh, no.
At least
I got a dentist system, though, if you want to talk about that.
you have a dentist system?
Again.
I would like to hear about your dentist system.
Yeah. Dentist system? It's Always
No, I
Sunny.
thought you had a dentist system.
Oh,
It's just the Katie system?
No. It's this.
It's this? Was it just a fucking
Like-
bird that just flew away?
Yeah. It's a scribble.
I don't
It's
know.
a mess.
I
And
don't know
then
what's happening. Should I turn off the lights and do
for the system.
shadow puppets? Just
Actually,
what the fuck is happening?
It's good with this bar chat lighting.
yeah.
So we can agree that we've all lost our minds, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think so. I mean, I think that's what happens. I think that's the qualification to starting a podcast.
Yeah, like I have nothing else to say about this movie, but I'm having so much fun talking about whatever random things come into mind that I don't want to end this. So if you guys need to like go to bed, you should tell me.
At some point, we
Well, I mean,
do that, but it's like 9:02.
yeah,
Okay.
I grabbed another beverage while I was on the phone with work, and my wife didn't yell at me. So here we are.
So she's given up at this point.
Yeah, she's doing a puzzle.
Right.
When the fucking power went out, she got back into puzzles.
I believe that
which
is
fine.
metaphor for your relationship, sir. She's doing a puzzle.
Well, so last night, she went to bed, and I went into her room, and I gave her a hug, and I said, I think I'm going to go to that show. And she goes, I'm not stopping you. And I was like, see you later.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm like, well, whatever. It is what it is. Okay, Katie, what is your snack of choice? Penis excluded. I'm getting that out of there because we had the whole Snack Shack with Kenny thing. I just want to, regardless of your penis policy, I just want to know your grocery store shelf snack of choice. I don't want to hear about any weird penis grocery stores you guys have.
Well,
God damn it, Kenny.
actually,
Now you have to read him the ingredients list.
What is my snack of choice?
why are you looking at me?
I'm concerned that neither of you have said a very specific
Yeah,
snack.
So, like you can't ask
The
a
thing
bitch
is-
that's dieting what her favorite snack is. 'Cause I ain't eaten any of my
She's gonna
favorite
make-
shit
yeah,
in
so-
fucking months.
Here's the
Okay,
thing.
so when
Face questions because she'll get really angry because she's
well,
in the middle.
please don't get angry. I understand the whole diet thing. I don't diet that hard, but once in a while I give her a go.
I miss beer a lot. Is that a snack? I
It
miss-
could be. I mean, it's carbs. So you miss, it feels like you just miss carbs, which is fucking literally every good snack.
honestly,
Yeah.
I'm a little upset that
honestly.
neither of you are just real deep into Funyuns.
cheese is a good snack. Funyuns is an underrated snack.
Thank you.
Funyuns.
What?
I can't do Funyuns.
It's underrated.
Kenny, are you at her place or yours?
Our place.
Oh, God damn it. I was going to ask you to see her out.
I mean,
I'm actually very surprised I don't have a Funyun tattooed on me yet. I'm putting that out there right now.
We can change that.
To be
No,
fair-
I'm working. I think I'm going to get a halo. So I have this pizza tattoo that says True Love. I think I'm going to get a halo of a Funyun tattooed over the top of it. Because why not?
A halo top?
Yeah, it's a halo top of Funyun.
I don't think I ever really gave Funyuns a fair shot, though.
Do you like onions a lot?
Yeah.
And crunchy?
Yeah.
You like Funyuns.
I mean, in theory, it sounds great. I think as a kid, I just, like, Funyuns somehow got crossed with, like, the concept of, like, feet for me.
I have very concerned about your childhood now. Why?
Yeah.
I don't
you should be.
know. It
Yeah,
just-
fucking something's wrong.
I don't really know. I don't know if it was that I was worried that they smelled like feet or tasted like feet.
So you're saying these things, and I'm just going back to the day in which I met you and said, I'm going to have them on my podcast. And I'm like, why the fuck did I do this?
That's fair.
No.
Feet Funyuns. I should have only invited Kenny on. He's into barbecue chips, not feet.
Yeah, but here's the thing about Funyuns, and I like a Funyun every once in a while, but they lose something in the sense that there's nothing to them. They're just puffed air of onion. They're like a pork rind without meat, and there's nothing you can do with them. It's not like you can take a Funyun and do a dip.
Fuck you. I have crushed Funyuns and crusted a chicken breast and baked it.
No. Funyuns
Oof.
dipped with sour what's sour cream and onion.
Testify, Kenny. Testify.
How do they hold up? They've got no body strength.
It is an act of God.
Like
You make it
I'm
work.
crushing Funyuns and I'm putting them on top of a dip, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with pork rinds.
Yep.
Right, I don't eat pork rinds.
Hot sauce. There's a way.
Fuck yeah, man.
I don't know.
I have
Nature finds a way.
Yes.
Exactly.
Nature finds a way.
I have encrusted a chicken breast in Funyuns and baked it, and it was literally like God jizzed in my mouth.
You
Baked
could
what?
probably
Funyuns, food processor, chicken breast, oven, come everywhere.
I can see it.
I just came.
You know what?
Yeah.
I
Hey.
can see it. Might come that way.
I'll be here all day, guys. You know what else I've done? Pork rinds in a meatloaf. So as a binder instead of breadcrumbs or oatmeal, you use pork rinds.
Okay.
And then I'd literally
Maybe
just
you do cheese.
lay thick ropes all over my kitchen.
That's what's on top of the meatloaf versus like ketchup.
Yeah, instead of ketchup, it's just semen.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't produce semen anymore. It's just jizz. Semenless jizz.
So instead of the meatloaf crawling around after you've made it, it's just sitting there.
It's crawling around going, Dad, it doesn't work. What other sweet? What is your policy on shrimp dip?
Shrimp dip?
Yeah, I don't know if this is a thing by you. So here, a layer of cream cheese, cocktail sauce, mini shrimp, and then you use a pita chip or a chip of choice. We're getting deep into snacks. I'm really into this.
I've never had that, but I love all of those things.
Yeah.
So I could probably say, yeah, sure.
So my tattoo artist and I, weird sentence, I understand. We got really big into a discussion on shrimp dip, and we talked about starting a YouTube cooking show where I just get drunk and he cooks. But we did that, but with the cream cheese, you put some Worcestershire sauce and onion. And then I use, have you ever been to Texas?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Whataburger spicy ketchup, you make cocktail sauce with that. It's just spicy ketchup and horseradish, and then the shrimp. Call it party shrimp dip. I'm getting a shrimp dip tattoo at some point. This is the point I am in my life. I'm just getting tattoos of favorite foods. This is when you know you have too many tattoos. But my wife never stops me, so...
So basically, your tattoos are all going to be like a constellation on your body that spells out diabetes.
No, it's just...
Yeah,
we like
Katie, this is your future.
That's a really interesting coping mechanism, though. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe instead of eating all the things that I want to eat, I'll just tattoo them on my body.
Well, it's... Okay, so the key is when dieting, quote-unquote dieting, don't stop yourself from having the things you love. It's just have them in moderation.
Yeah.
So, don't limit yourself from putting that sick-ass shrimp dip in your mouth. Just don't eat an entire plate in one sitting. Make her last 4.
As a person, I struggle with balance. I'm working on that.
No,
Right.
I was there. I was there once. By the end of this, I'll be your therapist. You can have my email. It's cool.
We came from a culture that was very much like you have to finish everything on your plate.
Oh yeah.
Same here.
You-
I remember going to someone's someone's house down the street, and they were always like, "Finish what's on your plate. If it's on your plate, you finish it."
yeah.
It was very hard for me to not do that, and then it got to a point where it's like, dude, I used to eat till my back hurt. Have you ever done that? Yeah, Katie. I saw the face Katie made. That was the first thing when I realized, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
I ate until it just feels like it has filled up.
It's
Yeah.
getting
It's like sitting right here.
Yeah. I went to a pizza buffet once, and my buddy and I ate 9 pizzas worth.
Wow.
9 pizzas worth?
Yeah, it was one of those wood-fired ones, so it was really only 4 pieces to a pizza.
Okay.
Still a lot of goddamn pizza.
I see why your wife married you, though. That is the king's job.
I to this day don't know why she married me. She said she would never date me because I got really drunk and sawed down a tree the first time we hung out with a handsaw, and I giggled so hard I farted. So yeah, I'm really not sure why she married me. She's probably in the other room wondering why she married me too. She may listen to this and be like, just whatever. I don't know why. I don't. I don't know. We could talk for hours about why I got married because I don't know why she married me. But
I wonder if Matt's tether knows why he's got tattoos of food all over his body, and if that's why he's going to kill you.
I only have 2. I'm trying to think of other tattoos that they should be more concerned about. They should maybe be more concerned about the giant chicken underneath their knee.
Right.
The black metal chicken underneath the kneecap. That one might be one to be worried about.
How many tattoos do you have?
Do you? If they touch, do they count as singles?
It's not a nacho plate.
That's what I'm trying to. Okay, so
Yeah, I would count them in visits.
what? I'm sorry. What?
I would count them in like visits, like not visits as far as like coloring.
I started getting tattooed when I was 18, and I'm 33.
Yeah.
It starts.
Yeah, but that's like saying I got hit by.
I'm trying to like get into
17,
frame here. So it
now
goes
I'm
here,
28, and so 11 years of not me getting hit by a car.
I'll just wait patiently for Corey to stop. So I have a 3/4 sleeve on my right arm. My chest down to my belly button is solid. I have almost a full 3/4 sleeve on my left arm. I got to finish my forearm. I have my 3/4 of my back done in a big horror piece. One on my right thigh. I have a half sleeve on my left leg. That's solid. And then I have a bunch of random shit on my left leg from my knee down. And then I have the one on my left thigh. And I literally I told my tattoo artist, I said, from the back to the back of my thighs, I don't care what you do, just do it. Because I'm like, I have no ideas, but I want it done, just do it. So I'm to that point.
Okay.
Shrimp dip.
Does it give you anxiety that you might run out of skin though?
No.
Yeah,
I don't think I will.
It doesn't panic you?
No. Because now it's just like I just want it done. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like I have like my whole left arm is all memorial stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like you can kind of see this one. This was my best friend in high school. He died in a car accident.
Mm-hmm.
And then like this is fucking just really putting on a clinic here. These gravestones are for my grandparents, so it's all their death days, and then all the flowers are the colors of their birth months. And then this is 2 friends of mine that died when I was in high school. It's their death months, and it just says "Gone but never forgotten." This snare drum is a friend of mine that died. The first time I met him was the first time I went on "quote unquote" tour, and he was the drummer of that band, and they're from Kansas, so it's the Sunflower State. We went to Denny's and ate a Grand Slam, and he was the drummer. So it's a snare drum with a Denny's Grand Slam and then the sunflowers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then
so beautiful. And then now you've got a chicken wing.
So the chicken wing is the singer of his band, James, who was in my wedding and I was in his. We both got the chicken wings on our left thighs because we like eating chicken so much.
Because we like eating chicken.
Yeah, so like I have Jake, who's an avid listener of the show, is a very, very, very dear friend of mine. We used to play Nintendo. We used to play Contra together. Mm-hmm. And I was always the first player, and he was the second player, so I got the blue pants Contra guy, and he's got the red pants Contra guy on his side. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of fucking goofy, but there's meaning to it. I have the Simpsons, like, I have a full Simpsons chess piece. Because I fucking love the Simpsons, and it's like, you can't always be serious. So sometimes you get the Simpsons tattooed on you.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
It's like when some people, they're like, that's one thing that's like really irritating. It's like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Sometimes it's like, You know,
I had $80
Yeah.
and I was in a tattoo parlor.
My sister-in-law made the comment before I ever met her. She goes, "What kind of a freak gets the Simpsons tattooed on him?" And I said, "Maybe you should fucking ask why I got the Simpsons tattooed on me." Yeah, we have a very weird relationship. Her parents and her, so it's not a whatever. It is what it is. But it's like maybe ask why.
Yeah.
I do love the Simpsons. There's nothing that I don't, but it's like fuck, man. I remember watching The Simpsons when I was a kid. It reminds me of not giving a shit about the fact that I have to pay for the fucking roof over my head.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Testify. Yeah, thank you. Trying to make it less uncomfortable.
I was just going to ask where Testify lands on the middle.
We could make it a podcast about tattoos. You could show your tattoos.
Do you watch Ink Master?
Yes.
So there was a chick who was on it that works at the same shop as the guy that I get tattooed by.
Uh-huh.
Melissa fucking, I don't even remember last name. Let me look it up.
Got it.
Cool.
Shit, I know, right?
I love that, Melissa.
A lot of times the thoughts start and then my mouth catches up with my brain and it's like, oh boy. So how's everyone doing? All right. Season 6, Melissa Monroe.
Monroe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
She was like one of the fucking final 4 too, and you don't even remember that.
It was season 3? Season 6.
Well, season 4? She came back once. I don't know, whatever. You're fucking whatever. But yeah, she tattoos in West Bend, Wisconsin. Port Washington, technically. But that's where the guy that I get tattooed by is out of the same shop. And he never wanted to be on it. And after I met her, I get why he never wanted to be on it. I guess it's very, very much staged.
Yeah, it seems like.
Shocker, I know.
It might be.
Yeah. Well, Corey left, so he got sick of our shit.
I was like, oh no.
He was like,
what happened?
So he has like weird internet problems all the time, so I'm assuming he's going to come back, but I don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah, I just...
His tether came up and got him.
Fucking right in the pooper. Oh, never mind. He sent me a message. Work is calling. They're telling me I have to pee. Oh, he's got to pee. I don't know why he...
Calling? They're telling me I have to pee? What?
I don't know. He's a very, very strange guy.
Let's talk about him while he's not here.
No, let's do it. So I don't really understand why I have him as a co-host, but he keeps coming back.
Just keep showing up.
Yeah. So, how are things?
Good. My cat showed up.
Oh.
Here, be famous. Here, look.
Oh, famous. Yeah, all 7 people. That's cool. What's your cat's name? Now you froze.
Problems abound.
Sorry, you froze. What's your cat's name?
Ripley.
Ripley. Oh, yeah, believe it or not.
No.
Lieutenant Ellen.
No, I fucking whatever. Hey, Corey's done peeing.
We replaced you with a cat.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we brought this sick ass pussy. I really want to know what you guys do for work, and I'm like, I don't know how much or little you want on the internet. Like 7 people isn't this, so you're fine. You can pretty much give your home address. No one know.
Just 7 people in Wisconsin.
Well, 4 in Wisconsin, 1 in Switzerland.
Well, why don't you guess what you think?
Yeah,
we do
that would be
as
fun.
Day jobs.
That would be fun. You give us our day jobs.
I'm gonna assume that Katie is a butt hair wax removal specialist.
Excellent.
No, I know you work in an office, from what I've gathered from your show.
An office full of butt hair.
But yeah, an office full of butt hair. Well, everyone calls the office. The office is what the office is. I'm guessing some sort of call center.
Okay.
What you do specifically, I don't know, and I have no idea what Kenny does. Office of sorts.
Well, they feed him. They feed him jerky.
Well, no, he said that jerky is readily available, which doesn't mean a whole lot.
Or it could
It's
mean
just around.
everything.
Or it could mean.
It
Well,
could-
I know you don't work for Jack Links because that is a Wisconsin-based company, son.
I work for Slim Jim. I am actually Slim Jim.
Look our
Oh shit!
Here.
I am.
Oh, the facade has fallen. There's a wall behind the black sheet.
Ignore the shit behind the curtain.
I saw a giant dildo. I'm just throwing that out there.
Well,
I wouldn't put a curtain up for that.
I wouldn't say
I just next time you're on, I just want this big fucking the a Great American Challenge swaying behind your head. just randomly turn around, and just slap it. So
yeah, I mean, if you want, she can grab it. Like,
Okay.
if you had the Great American Challenge, that would make my life complete because I don't know how many times I have referenced that utensil on this show. Readily available on Amazon.
sponsor.
Are you sponsored by that?
I want to be sponsored by it. I'm trying really hard. Great American Challenge.
You should
Use Podcast Terror for 10% off your 18-inch dildo. 20. You can get an additional 25% back if you show us you. Don't show me using it. I don't want to see that. That's no. Okay, so Kenny is Slim Jim. So you're Randy Macho Man Savage?
no, I wish. No, you were not close at all.
Oh shit! All right, no, there's nothing wrong with that. I'd rather you not work in an office. I do. It's fucking soul crushing.
So I work in human resources actually, as a human resources coordinator for Capital One.
Oh, I have a savings account with you. Thanks. If you would have said Equifax, I would have came directly to your house and punched you in the cock because they are the reason my identity was thefted.
Well, I'm sorry about that.
It's been a fucking nightmare, but I'm getting money back.
Yeah.
Would it blow your mind to tell you that I was too lazy to try and get the $20,000 and I settled for the $125? That is a true story. So someone recently tried to open 6 credit cards as me. And
Jesus.
some guy called my parents' house, which I haven't lived there in over 10 years, my wife and I, saying he was from the San Diego police trying to get a hold of me. All because Equifax got hacked and my data was leaked. And yeah, I called the San Diego Police Department and I was like, hey, this guy's calling me. This is the number. He just says his name is Mike. And they're like, well, there's a lot of detectives here named Mike. And I said, I get that it's probably not real, but, you know. And he's like, well, don't call him back. I said, no fucking shit. But yeah, so I get $125 compensation for that.
Wow.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. Don't drink and drive, kids.
But by accepting the compensation, you still retain the ability to do a lawsuit against them. If you don't accept the money, you can't sue. I've never heard that before. I've never heard a situation where you take the check and then get to sue. It's always like, you've accepted money from us, and so we're good.
But it's settled. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, for what it's worth, Jack Pacone texted me this thing and said, hey, you may have had your data breached. You should check it out. I'm at a fucking death metal show on my phone, like getting my class action settlement. This is my life, guys.
Which is a convenience that is afforded to you by companies that will lose your fucking identity at the drop of a hat because none of it fucking matters anymore.
But I ate chicken wings right before I did that, so it was all good. Yeah, it was all good chicken wings. So, okay, Kenny, you're a human resources coordinator. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, neither do I, actually.
Cool, man, as long as you keep getting those paychecks. That's all
I
that
really
matters.
go to work and eat the snacks that are provided.
Man, that's
And
the fucking life.
I mean, honestly, though, fully stocked fridge too, man.
Dude, you're looking pretty trim for being the snack king in Washington, D.C. over there.
Well, that's what sitting in complete darkness will do for you.
All right, I gotta kill these lights quick. Hang on. Fucking darkify this world. All right, Katie, it's your turn to tell all 7 of our listeners what you do for work.
I am a financial planner.
You gotta go. My life is in financial ruin right now. It's really not. If it was, I don't think some guy would want to open a pink credit card in my name.
That's exactly what I
Get after this sick ass credit score of mine. Hey guys, it's 3 figures. I don't want to brag, but my credit score is 3 figures.
My wife and I just sold our house. You know, we had so much shit going on with our credit. Nobody wanted our identities. That's how fucking poor we are.
Yeah.
So when all those storms rolled through, this is going to sound really bad to me, but I drove past our old house hoping that a tree fell on it, and it didn't.
Oh. That's right. You didn't
I like how there's just dead silence that I was really hoping that my old house is destroyed because that chick sucks that bought it. Yeah.
Also, it's the only way that wall's ever going to get fixed.
No, I paid to get the wall fixed
Oh, shit.
before she bought it.
That's too bad.
But she can't
You paid
fucking
like 3
take care of
times, but
the...
you tried over and over again to fix that wall.
Oh my God. Do we want to get into this?
No, but you were on
No,
this
we're
path.
going to anyways. So there was water had leaked in through the ceiling. It went through the roof into the living room wall, and we didn't know that water was coming in until the plaster had peeled back enough that it fell off that we could see it was a wet one. And yeah. So the guy who fixed the roof, he's dead now. Rick. He lives
Which
across the
tattoo is
street.
his?
None.
Okay.
Because he fucking cost me $1,000, and I had to carry his death couch out. I know neither of you probably. Yeah, I'll get back to that, Kenny. I know neither of you probably know a ton about roofing, but when you put flashing down, you overlap them. He just kind of set them next to each other, so there was a huge gap, so the water would just run in between them.
Oh yeah.
Down my walls. Yeah, so it was $1,000 to fix that. So he slept.
How did he die though? Like, what happened to him?
He had a heart attack. He didn't take care of himself. He was just a fucking old man.
Just making sure.
Yeah, but he slept on a couch every night.
A different way is a little.
Yeah, I didn't kill him.
Overlap, but
I didn't fucking shiv him.
I just wanted to flesh that out for all.
No. Yeah, so he slept on a couch every night, and after he died, his girlfriend thought they were married, was like, "Hey, you got muscles. Can you carry this fucking thing out of my house?" So I had to drag this couch out. She made it sound like he died on it. He did not. Yeah, your face was kind of the same, but it was like, it's the 4th of July. I got to go to my parents. Let's get this couch out. He like had a heart attack and died in the driver's seat of his van, and I just needed to get the couch out.
The way we all want to go.
I think I want to go eating Funyuns and chicken wings.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Maybe rubbing out that easy one? Well, it wouldn't be easy. My heart would hurt. But jerking off for sure.
Yeah. Kind of like that man that they found. He was that mummy that they found in Pompeii, and he was
going for it.
The body was found. Did you hear about that? Where they found this mummy in Pompeii where he died like instantly, and his remains were left in his exact position, and it looks like he was jerking off.
I'm Googling this because I don't believe you.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a very weird search history. Nope, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's real.
I Google. Oh, holy shit! You are not kidding.
Yeah.
There's a Google image search that says if Pompeii happened now, and it's a chick with her ass up holding a selfie stick.
Well, Pompeii happened now. This is what we would be doing.
Oh my God. Our world is in ruins.
die like an influencer.
I like that.
Shut up.
Influencer.
You guys are closer to influencers than we are. Do you have 8 listeners?
We have a few.
Maybe
We have
9.
a parcel, a bucket.
A parcel.
Bucket? Jesus. We have a small padded envelope.
Kiss each one of them on their forehead before they go to sleep.
Like, hi.
You guys are fucking terrifying. I'm scared right now.
Yeah, we are.
I'm also turned on though.
That's their brand.
That's our brand. Exactly.
You're turned on.
I am your key demographic.
Our job is done. We can go now. No.
Boy.
Literally.
That's the
Discovering
intention.
that was the most empowering point in my life, I think.
No,
Yeah.
I will say this. You guys know your demographic and you hit it very well.
Thank you.
Corey and I, we're like 14-year-olds. We don't know what we're doing. And you've been a podcast a lot less amount of time than we have.
Really?
How long have you guys been a show?
2 years.
Yeah, we're
working on 2 years.
We're working on 2 years. It was 2 years in February.
Yeah.
we'll be 4 in 2 weeks.
Well, you got like the stand thingy that comes from the side. Like,
What?
that's impressive.
What? Oh yeah, it's because money. I paid $15 on Amazon so that I can do this.
Yeah.
Because I really like getting my mouth up in it. Oh God, I just kicked my desk. But you can, no one knows I'm even like swiveling around.
There you go.
I'm swiveling hard.
That's
I'm having a hard time getting back to center.
Winded wheeling around his room. And it's
No, I thought about like the mic stand and shit,
Yeah.
and I don't know, I just didn't work.
It sucks. It sucks a lot.
It's white people problems. Yeah, because I have an analog mixer, so I couldn't do like the guy that I do the Cast and the Furious with has like a Yeti Blue, which is a USB, but it sounds great not next to your mouth.
Yeah.
Can't do it because the Yeti does not make an analog; it's only digital. So I'm stuck to using this sick ass Shure microphone that I got when I tried to record drums once.
No.
Yeah, we had that problem when we first started.
Yeah, we Corey and I had a lot of problems. This is like the second or third mixer I've been on. Google Hangouts hasn't always been nice, and now they've forced us to go to Lightstream.
I was gonna say, didn't they stop?
August 1st.
Yeah.
So you guys are the first guests that we're having using Lightstream.
I've never heard of Lightstream before, and it was very Lightstream was very easy to use.
I like how you leaned in like, the Lightstream, don't sue me. You are terrific to use. I'm getting an email about how difficult it was.
Lightstream would like to sponsor.
Podcast of Terror.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys ever need to do a remote show, let me know. It's super easy to use. Not that I'm fishing for Corey and I to be guests on your show or anything. But
We had an amazing guest star. She was the host of PBS's show Monstrum, Dr. Emily Zarka, and that was like right as that show was launching, and we had her
hold
like
on.
we did a distance interview with her, and it was perfect, and it was like an hour of like really good, like engaging, like conversation, and we were talking about like why monsters make us scared and what like being scared of certain monsters reveals about us, and it was like a really good conversation.
I feel like you're about to tell me that Kenny accidentally deleted the whole thing.
No, the motherfucker hit the metronome button on GarageBand, which there's a button for that somehow.
So
Wait. Which one of you? Because I'm not.
Metronome going.
So
How did you not know?
because here's the thing, the computer, like it was on mute, so I didn't hear it. And I think what happened was when I was expanding the window or like doing something, I think I accidentally clicked it, and because the computer was muted, I didn't hear it. So we did this whole interview, and it was amazing and beautiful, and then when we went to go play it back, there was just the metronome sound going back and forth. And when I tell you, I just died inside.
Why? Okay. I have so many questions.
But you died to a funky beat, right? I mean, that's...
Oh yeah, I died to
Damn it,
that.
Corey.
The fucking interview was on time.
What? Oh my God. Why didn't you save? Why didn't you just take the metronome out? Because you exported it instead of saving it as whatever GarageBand's native is before you can remove it. I get that. The other thing you could have done is figured. Yeah, right. I already know the answers before I ask them. But why didn't you figure out what the frequency of the metronome was and just remove that?
So we
listen.
tried.
No.
Just this is why we're friends now. I can help you with these things.
I'm here for entertainment value only, with a slight knowledge of how to cut.
You're
No, fair
underselling
enough.
your looks.
Yeah.
You're underselling your looks completely. But
Capacity.
No,
Like, that's
fair enough.
about I'm much more attuned to.
Don't even fix that anymore. Just give up on it, bud. There you go. What's going on back there?
But there's like a lot of stuffed animals here.
So?
And I just like didn't know that was our aesthetic.
Who gives a shit?
So
I have a fucking Mario, and you can't tell because I had to cut it out till you'd all fit, but I have a Mario and a Luigi. Woo, woo.
that is what those are.
Yeah.
We just didn't want you to think that she was some sort of weird.
I have a futon behind me in case. I'm just really bad with directions.
The futon his neighbor died in.
No, this is brand new. We bought this brand new. We put the sheet on. I wash it.
Oh, I thought that was the death couch.
No, this is the futon.
Like I would look down on being a cam girl, but really I would be like,
oh, I know. Let me
get that money.
That's the next step.
I really appreciate Corey's drinking fucking Red Pop. I really appreciate that you took the time to put a sheet up when I got this fucking tree out back. It's actually out front that I refuse to trim. And now that it's dark enough, you can see the reflection of both of my computer screens and my light ring.
Yeah. It's like aesthetic though. It's fine. Yeah.
It is what it is. There was a question I thought to ask you 37 seconds ago, and I forgot.
Very precise.
Yeah.
Anyway, the long story short on that episode is that we had an editor put a filter on to try to take the pop noises out.
Oh, okay.
And it didn't, I mean, it came out okay-ish, but not okay enough for us to release like on the main like feed. So we put it up on Patreon.
We'll
we were
be
like,
putting it up on Patreon.
Listen to this sick-ass interview that we did that was amazing with fucking PBS.
Can you tell me what it's like to have a Patreon that people contribute to? Because I don't know.
So there's been some ups and downs. You die a little every time someone says you read that they so-and-so has deleted their...
It's a lot. There's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of like self-worth that gets tied into that, and it's nasty. And then we just decided we didn't care.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Deciding you don't care is the best thing you can possibly do. And to be clear, deciding you don't care about financial support or that kind of thing. If you just continue to do the show because you love doing the show, because of whatever interaction you get from people is fantastic. That's the greatest thing you can do for yourself and your mentality, because otherwise you show up every week and you're looking at numbers and you're looking at stats and you're looking at stuff and you're just like, why the fuck do I keep doing this if this stuff is just a rocket downhill? It hurts. And you shouldn't do something that hurts you. You should do something that makes you feel joy.
That's literally why we took a random 6-month hiatus, because I was having fucking heart attacks over that shit. Yeah. This is the podcast of feelings now.
The podcast of how to manage your anxiety as a podcast.
True.
Well, I mean, so you, as a content creator, you obviously want to create something that everyone's going to like, which in where we are as a society, you can't do that. That's physically impossible. Like,
that's
people
you can make is to try to make something for everybody. Make it for your specific audience and don't give a shit about anybody else.
But
please.
People exist to only shit on what you do.
Yeah.
And that's what sucks. And I was talking to someone the other day, I don't fucking remember when it was, but it was like, why can't someone, if you don't like I don't like Nickelback. If we talk about it, I'll tell you I don't like Nickelback, but I'm not going to go on their YouTube videos and be like, you guys are a bunch of dicks. You write shit music, go fucking die.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go find something I like. And it's like the fact that people exist to do only that is upsetting. And it's like, as someone who, and all of us are content creators here, but it's like, why can't you just be like, cool, man, you do what you do. It's not my thing. I'm just going to go somewhere else.
If you just don't like me, just fucking go away. Like, you don't need to say anything. You don't need to like, nobody needs your comment.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly. Well, we had someone recently that said that on one of our episodes, they commented on our YouTube video that was like, you two should be disappointed in yourself. No,
you should be ashamed of yourself.
So there's
the gang stalking episode.
Yeah.
And YouTube is,
I really liked that episode, actually. My wife and I listened to that on the way home when we met you guys. Because we're like, we're going to find out if we like these motherfuckers or not. You guys passed the test, by the way, because I'm a big fan of gang stalking. But so there's either this is a very generalized question. Do either of you like pro wrestling?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. So
I
there's
have a long history actually with pro wrestling.
No.
so do you know who Hornswoggle is?
Of course I do.
He lives like I drank with him last weekend. He fucking lives like just south of me. So he owns a promotion here called ACW that a friend of mine wrestles in.
Uh-huh.
So another guy, his wrestling name is Salem Crane. He's a super nice guy, but he was walking out one time and someone yells, "You put the dark in dark match." And he was like fine with that. I'm like, that would have fucking broke my heart. So it's like and like Gary Yap, who's been on here, he did, he was TJ Perkins' manager before TJ got signed to WWE.
Yeah.
And like there's video of Gary, like just people are screaming shit at him and he goes, "Hey, you just got to be okay with people hating you for no reason." Yeah, and I'm like, I can't do that. Like someone gives us a bad review and I'm like, I don't, like, why? What did I do to hurt your feelings? Like, can I come hug you? Like that shit bothers me. That's really hard for me. But I don't remember my original idea. I'm just gonna keep drinking.
And it's funny because I don't look at any of that stuff. Like we've read reviews when we used to get them on here and everything. And we had the one person who hate tweeted us, but that was more funny than anything.
Well, you made it more funny. I was like, what the fuck? Like, so we did Dee Snider's Strangeland, which is a movie that I historically love. I've always loved it since high school. And that girl, her response, she was like, "You two fat fucking hipsters in your bedrooms. If you had half the talent that it's too early to be yawning. If you had half the talent that Dee Snider had." And I was just like, "Fuck you, you dumb fucking bitch." And Corey's like, "Let's just get her to come on. Let's talk about it."
Yeah, I
like, fuck this
talked to
girl.
her, and she was ripping us up, and she was mostly ripping me up. She was like,
no, she was too fucking stupid to realize that I loved the movie, I think.
Well, that too, but she was like really into destroying me, and it was fine. And I was just like, well, hey, why don't you come on the show and you can tell us your opinions of the movie and stuff, and you can make a case for it. I'm the one who had a problem with it. And eventually she was like, okay, maybe I'll come on the show. And I'm like, that would be great. And then she never talked to us again. But it was just funny to me because, like, I don't disagree that Dee Snider has more talent than we do. He made a movie. It was not my favorite thing, but whatever.
He's a Twisted Sister too, but whatever.
He's also a Twisted Sister, which is a big deal. I don't have a problem with somebody saying that we shouldn't just be tearing up somebody else's hard work and stuff. And that is kind of what a review show is. And I feel bad about that sometimes. On the other hand, I'm just going to tell what I feel about stuff. I don't think my opinions are more valuable than anybody else's. When it comes to reviews and that kind of thing, we have like 4 or 5 people who showed up in the chat here while we were doing this. That matters the world to me, is that there are people who choose to come and listen to us live and hang out and talk when we're doing this. And that is all I need from this. And we've done plenty of times where we don't even have that. So this is my time to hang out with my best friend.
And to the other point is like and I thought we were getting into a dick swinging competition when you were talking about your PBSs. We had beer. Deborah Voorhees. Yeah, sorry, I did. Deborah Voorhees from Friday the 13th 5 was on our show.
Oh shit!
And she was a fucking sweetheart. And it's like,
today's her birthday, by the way.
Yes, it is. That's why I went to look. Yeah, happy birthday, Deborah. But the thing is, like, if you would have ever told me when Corey and I started doing this that anything like that would have happened, like Derek Herbert was spot on here. He was the producer for the Kane Hodder documentary.
And his new movie looks great. The new one that he produced.
Yeah,
so good.
It's a really good movie. My wife and I watched it when we got our power back last weekend. So it's like that shit is like. I'm sorry that you didn't like the fact that we may have felt differently than you for something.
Yeah.
But it's like this has still afforded us to do a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah. I think focusing, like Corey was saying, focusing on the people who do listen and focusing on the people who support you and care about what you're doing and are kind of like, get it, focusing on the people who get it, as opposed to, because we've been hate tweeted on Twitter before, and it's like, whatever. Yeah, people have had problems with like the way that I covered like certain cases or like that I got wrong or whatever. Yeah, you can hate tweet me on the babysitter.
I'd have to reinstall Twitter. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, we're not.
But we've been hate tweeted before, and usually we just like retweet it, and we're like, ugh.
In the words of Matt, I'm sorry to cut you off, Kenny, but our previous guest, Matt Vincent, who's more famous than all four of us put together, if someone's saying something bad, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
So
yep.
My thing is that I actually get joy
From the one-star.
I get joy when I see
Don't one-star review us, okay?
we got a 2-star today, and I'm very sad about that.
Oh,
wait, what?
Fuck.
I'm happy somebody listened.
Well, yeah, Corey is very much someone shit my pancakes. Well, at least someone came to shit on my pancakes.
Exactly. That's my point. I actually get joy out of it because it's like, it's great that you have supporters and you have like people that, will shower all of this,
I get it. And love you and appreciate what you're doing.
But there's something about me that really appreciates that opposing side of it that I take and I actually prefer to use as like, okay, did I act like, is it something that I actually should, like, did I actually fuck up?
Yeah. Is it valuable criticism or is it not?
If it's not valuable criticism, I'm just going to fucking make fun of it. Like, it's like, because at the end of the day, it's just a fucking podcast. We're just sitting here with my best friend and it's not that fucking serious. You know what I mean?
Right. But you're still taking your free time outside of being an HR coordinator to create something.
Coordinating HR.
Yeah, right. So it's like you could be watching cartoons or playing video games or whatever you prefer to do, but you're creating something and someone's like, what's that?
Masturbate.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, the 47 seconds that you'd be jerking off for, you still have a lot of night left there, big guy. But it's like you could literally fucking... You're taking time. Like, we're up, 2 hours and 25 minutes since you guys decided to show up late. We could have been doing... I'm just fucking with you.
Okay.
If I had that big of a problem with it, this episode wouldn't have gone on this long. But here's the thing is, like, we could have done so many other things, but instead we decided to create free content. Like, we don't have a Patreon. We just put it out for free, and like the Galactic Netcast pays for the Podbean hosting, and they pay for all the shit.
Yeah.
So it's like we could have done something else with this 3 hours of our evening, and instead we decided to create free content. And the fact that someone decides that they're gonna shit on that, and it's like, dude, get a fucking life. Like, touch a boob, go outside. I don't care. Like, find something to do with your time other than shit on me for giving you something for free.
I get that. I really do. But then I also will take that review and blast it for everyone to see.
I need to get more on to like what Kenny's onto. I need to do that.
The other upside to that is that our brand is kind of being shit.
Right. See, that's...
So, like, when we get shit reviews, we're like,
well, here you go. See, we told you. We actually told you.
Yeah.
So it's
almost like PR for us.
Right. It's like perfect PR because it's like, see, listen. And I absolutely, like, I love to play off that shit. I think that gives, for me, if I dwelled on it, that's me giving it power. And the best thing that I can do is to make light of it, because then it doesn't mean anything and it literally holds nothing over me and my mindset and what I'm about to create with my best friend. Yeah. So say what you're going to say. But if it's negative and it's, a completely bullshit reason, expect to be blasted.
Also, if this was my job, if this was what my career was based around, if I was putting forth the massive amount of effort that I know that other people do in their podcast, when Erica does her podcast, she does a shit ton of work to do that podcast. And I think does an amazing job and gets a lot of the same kind of clapback like what you guys are talking about. And I don't think she deserves any of that. I think she's an incredible podcaster. I think she's an incredible researcher and storyteller in what she does. And I love her show. But I'm also a fan of her as a person. So
she's a piece of shit of a human being. Don't fucking tell her she's cool.
Matt and her.
I know she's listening to this. I love her dearly.
But this show is seriously, it takes no effort on my part, really, other than watching a movie and coming and hanging out and talking for a couple hours. And most of the time, it's not even about the film itself. Matt does the lion's share of the work, and he has really tried to limit it down to the least amount possible. So if this was a investment of hours and hours each week, and we were trying to make the greatest show on earth, then maybe I feel a little bit differently. But even then, it's kind of like
we're trying to make something that's entertaining.
Up on it at all. Right? We're trying to have fun.
Yeah, sorry. It's the same take that I have with playing in a band. It's like I want to forget that I have to pay a fucking mortgage for 30 minutes of a week.
But you put a lot of work into what you do with your band. You know, you record stuff, you songwrite, you make that drive every week.
I have spreadsheets of our shirts. I have spreadsheets of the beer glass. I have the money. I have the key to the money. I have all the CDs.
Yeah, so somebody goes and writes a shitty review of your album, especially when they don't appear to be what your audience would normally be anyways. It's like, oh, I thought this was going to be a cover of Captain Chenille, and suddenly someone's screaming on my face.
And then I would look at him and say, like, you fucking play the drums.
Right. Exactly. That might be a different story. Yeah. But I write stories and stuff, and I don't really do anything with them. I don't try to get them published. I don't send them around, or I put like a couple things here and there. But for the most part, I write stuff because there's like one or two people that I think are going to get something out of it. And I enjoy the process of writing. And if I put it out there and got shitty reviews, I would probably be a little crushed maybe. But if I'm still doing it just for those one or two people that I enjoy writing them for, then why the fuck does the rest of it matter? You know, and I do this show for the people that show up here, and anybody else who wants to be part of it, great. But it's also, you know, you don't have to give us reviews. You don't have to say anything. We give out the email every week. You don't have to write to us. You don't have to acknowledge we exist beyond listening to us in your car on the drive to work, whatever. That's great.
I think they're sick of listening to us talk. They've both glazed over. And
no, I mean, I'm changing it, but I do think that even if you are investing a lot of yourself into creating content, I still think you still have to do it for whether you have 4 people who are showing up to listen to you, or, you know, 1,000 people showing up to listen to you, or, you know, 1 million people showing up to listen to you. I think you have to separate yourself from the negative feedback and like not let it fuck with you, because you can't be you if you're a stress ball because somebody gave you a 2-star review.
I think
I just gave you a 5-star review, so fuck that.
We're gonna find out if she's telling the truth.
I did. I don't know my iTunes ID though, so.
And isn't it scarier?
Did you write a review, or did you just?
I didn't write a review yet because I wanted to pay attention to our conversation, but I haven't.
Well, I gave you $5 a month on Patreon, so I feel like this is a very one-sided relationship. I can't fucking tell.
Welcome to the Stay Spooky Squad, by the way.
Nah,
but they have other Patreon supporters. We don't have other reviewers.
No, they have plenty of other Patreon supporters. We got nothing.
Way more important to us than we are to them.
We got nothing.
But you don't have a Patreon, do you?
I'm sorry, what?
You don't have a Patreon, do you?
Yeah. Our band. Our band. Yeah. No, our show doesn't.
Oh. Yeah.
Because no one would fucking give us money.
We
surprised
out of.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm like, what?
Yeah, so here's the thing. If we did a Patreon, which it would be terrific, and I'm sure someone would give us something, that's just more content that we have to create, and that's not something that I'm willing to. No, and you're laughing at me, but it's like I don't want to.
No, I'm laughing because I understand.
Yeah, and it's like that's not something like. And Corey makes fun of me because I am always like, well, I gotta fucking mow my lawn. Well, that's like I get home from work at 4:30, takes me 2 goddamn hours. Well, all of a sudden it's 8:00, and I need to eat dinner and scratch my nuts. It's 9. I go to bed at 9:15 because I'm 45 fucking years old.
Matt, my lawn mowing is a 3-hour process now, so I understand.
Yeah.
Why does it take you It shouldn't take you 3 hours. Your lawn's not that big.
But the process is I have to go over to my parents' house, help my dad set up the thing to get the lawnmower over here, the whole prep work and everything, coming over here, doing the lawn work, then getting him back over there and taking everything off the trailer and taking it all back down again. It's about a 2.5 to 3 hour process to do in
20 minutes of me is stopping so I can yell at a chicken to get out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, you're my next tattoo.
Yeah.
But I get it.
and he's just like, "You're next."
You're like bones at
throw bones at him, and it's like, yeah,
Like,
I don't
being a Red Lobster and you're the lobster and everybody's got a bib with your picture on it.
Oh shit.
So we have to rate this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we should maybe wrap this up. It's getting late for you guys. I mean, it's getting late for me. It's just getting later for you.
True. I mean, I could just like get in. If we just move the camera up a little bit, I could just get in bed. We could just keep going.
No, so what we need to do is the next time we have you guys on, we're gonna start earlier, so that we can fucking straight put out like a 4-hour episode, and it will not knock in anyone's sleep. I'll bring a cooler. I will have to take piss breaks.
That's fine. We'll take them in shifts.
Yeah, shit will get out of control.
Because I didn't wear pants.
Yeah.
So I can't go anywhere.
Wait, what?
I'm right here for as long as we keep going.
She's not wearing pants.
So I'm stuck here.
So like, wait. No bottoms at all, or just not like pants?
Underwear on. Like
Okay, and that's what I was curious. I'm like, does she clam out in front of Kenny? Because that's weird.
No, because that she does frequently.
Well, I mean,
no photos done. Like we're in the process of redoing the website, and we had professional photos done. And the photographer was like, "We want to do an indoor set, like with how you guys normally record." And I was like,
no, Kitty, you need pants for this.
and he was like, "Yeah, like how you guys normally record." And I was like, "I mean, I'm gonna take my pants off because I literally have never recorded a single episode of the podcast in pants."
Yeah, that's true.
Ever.
At least you put a shirt on for this. I'm real proud of you.
I did.
Kenny,
Yeah.
does she normally wear a shirt for?
No,
for recording the regular show, I do now.
not a shirt.
I wear my sleep shirt.
But
then.
that's not like, this is like a button-down like shirt that you have. But
That's the thing. I don't wear a bra, but I do wear a shirt, but I never wear pants.
You guys have a very weird dynamic. Corey doesn't wear a bra either.
Not tonight.
In the old days when we had our Yeti mic,
I'm fully brought up though.
we used to have to record without the air on, like through like high.
Yeah, Corey turns the air off all the time, and I'm like, who fucking cares, man? I'm like, just be comfortable and let that weird sound in the background. I don't give a shit.
We could not with our old mics, and so before we bought our new ones, we like literally I would record in my underwear, and that would be it. And I would like just trying to
just,
not let my body.
just fucking starfished out so you don't sweat.
Honestly, so we have recorded like that before, actually.
Now we know why your Patreon's so high.
Yeah, right? Jesus Christ.
Wow.
I'm going to take my $5 back. You don't need my money.
We have special tiers.
I do read smut on the Patreon.
She
now.
does.
I know, I saw that. It showed up in my email, and I'm like, what is this?
It's pretty fucking funny.
Little spank bank material for later.
It's all it's horror smut, but it is so poorly.
We could totally have that be done, but Matt doesn't read.
Not well. Do you want me to try and read their Patreon stuff? Because it's not going to end well.
No.
Damn, babe.
Oh, God, no.
You are really pulling on a little haunted heartstrings. Do you want me to stop, or do you want me to keep going? I can keep going. There's a tote bag down at the end.
There's a tote bag in it for you.
You want me to get to
Is that
that
a
tote bag? We love you right back. In addition to notification on our show, access to all our bonus audio and visual content through Patreon. Oh, damn, I want a handwritten thank you note. How much fucking...
Yeah.
Do I really have to give you $35 a month to get a handwritten thank you note?
You're going to get one of those, actually.
Sent right directly from myself.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah, I'm not-
She'll write it, and you'll know that she wrote it without wearing pants.
Yes.
Probably.
You know what? And I feel a little bad saying this, but I said I want to know you wrote it without hands. You don't have pants on, so it's just. But yeah, a fucking free T-shirt
dipping
and a tote bag and a handwritten thank you
A
note.
tote bag, because we had somebody from PBS once. We had to give you-
Just, you could tote all your shit around.
We have one of our listeners who's been with us for like ever. She's like a soccer mom, but she's the coolest soccer mom you'll ever meet in your fucking life.
Yeah, don't shit talk soccer, man. I played soccer. I love it.
She
do wicked metal.
and she has her own clothing shop, and she like knits all the time. And the Haunted Heart tote bag is like her knitting bag that she carries with her to like all her kids' events.
Yeah, that's cool as fuck, actually.
Yeah.
We have no one like that. So thanks.
No, actually, she would probably. I'm gonna have to recommend you guys.
Although I think now we have 9 listeners, Corey.
Uh-oh.
And if we don't hit 9 downloads, I'm looking at you two.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I was just gonna say, Matt, this week I did my best effort to wear only T-shirts that related to either you, Levi, or my wife. So I wore my hate shirt, I wore your band shirt, I wore the new T-shirt that my wife did, and I wore the new Levi Smurf shirt. So I was like,
are you like going to try and get me to go and pull out the bin of shirts and try and sell them right here so I sell none? But I put in all the effort to go get out the bin?
I'm just saying that I'm fan enough for anybody.
No, it's very sweet of you.
I'm your soccer mom.
Aww.
But you didn't fucking bring orange slices to the show. I'm glad
Not
only
with my
Katie
hands,
thought
with
that was
my
funny. Fucking no one gets orange slices, vitamin C, and hydration.
I will ship you a case of Ecto Coolers.
I don't want fucking Ecto Coolers.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
Don't lie to me, you little whore.
We have to fucking rate this movie.
I know.
This has been going on for so goddamn long.
All right.
Fuck, marry, kill.
Wait, so
Yes.
fuck, marry, kill.
Yeah, marry, fuck, kill. So if you fuck it, you watch it once, you let her go, you kill it, and you really hated it, you'll probably never ever watch this again. Marry it, you'd purchase it. Like a true marriage, you pay for it for the rest of your life.
I would marry it.
Of course you would.
I would marry it because I like to watch it and I like to get something like different. I've seen it a couple times and I get something different every time, and I'm just into that whole like overthinking everything in it, and I enjoy that. So I would probably marry it. I would also marry Winston Duke. Just saying.
And also fuck him.
Seriously, M'Baku, I was like, holy shit, he's so great.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful time. He literally, as M'Baku, just started barking at a man who was trying to like speak to him.
You've never done that?
Barking at his fucking face,
Yeah,
which
you've
is
never
amazing.
just barked at someone when he's trying to talk to you?
I mean, I have, but I've never seen other humans.
She does
Big
to me.
DMX fan? I don't know. Just whatever. I'm also a little upset that at no point in this entire 2 hour and 40 goddamn minute episode anyone has ever talked about Tim Heidecker in this movie.
I don't know.
Oh my god, you two.
I mean, go for it.
I have to assume he's from something like Tim and Eric or some
He
other bullshit.
fucking is Tim and Eric.
That's what I thought.
Really?
And I'm looking at this guy I'm like, who is this son of a bitch? Why is he in this? He's not that great. He was fine.
We broke Matt.
He's
He's like,
Okay.
just go.
So, oh boy. So I was just happy to see Tim in something because Eric was in Master of None and with his wine and all that shit, and Tim didn't really get any sort of recognition outside of Tim and Eric, and he's not great, but he's not bad. And when he's very much like a dick and fart joke kind of human being, it was kind of cool to see him in this. He also wrote an entire acoustic album about getting broken up with.
He did a good job playing his character.
He hasn't, so.
I haven't. Apparently you're the only one here that has.
I mean, I did that.
Do you want to push your breakup album?
No, it's not something for human consumption.
If Charles Manson can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, Manson's music's actually not.
It's not terrible. And I'm
No,
saying yours probably is also not terrible. I'm trying to help out here.
And Hitler was a hell of an artist.
Terrible. Fully terrible. It's really bad.
Well, if you need a drummer, give me a call.
I will. I wish I could find. Oh, I think it's in the car. My friend
I don't know where it might be. It's in its third sleeve.
I don't know where it's at. It's in my car.
Well, no, my friend gave me like a CD jacket for it, and like it's amazing. I wish that I had it so that I could show it to you because you would laugh a lot.
Well, good thing the internet exists. So you can just send it to us 15 minutes after we're done here.
Sure. I'm not gonna walk to the car to get that. I'm sorry.
I don't blame you one bit. It's probably warm out.
I'm going right in there, like.
Right in there looks like you're going into a candle holder.
Here, in here.
Oh, there is a bed behind you. It does not look 3-dimensional.
It's
here we
made
go.
of cast iron. See?
Oh, shit.
That's my bed.
That is a fuck dungeon if I ever saw one.
Then you have never seen
Kenny's
one,
like,
sir.
I've heard some noises out of this room. It's terrifying.
That's when she puts on the pants.
Oh,
That is made of cast iron for no reason.
oh no. Oh my God, he's looking off in the distance like he's seen some shit.
So sorry.
The stuffed animals are sound dampeners.
Oh no. Kenny, you can come stay with me. There's no weird sounds that happen here because I'm married.
If Kenny's there, maybe there will be.
There might be. I don't know. The first time I got any in a long time. Kenny, you have to marry, fuck, kill this movie, and I swear, I hope to sweet Jesus my wife doesn't listen to this.
All right, who's going? Me?
Yeah, you're up, bud.
I'm
Oh no, she just texted me.
gonna.
Oh shit!
I'm sorry.
I just want to say we've now made the rounds that everybody, including your wife, has interrupted Kenny being able to speak.
Don't worry, it's just a picture of my dog sleeping.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh no! Look at
That's a beautiful glare.
I
Oh,
see it.
that.
Oh.
Yeah. $5 a month. You can have my phone number, Katie. I'll just send you pictures of my dogs.
I'm into that. That works.
yeah.
I will
It would-
gladly send you pictures of my dogs for free.
I'm gonna marry.
Why? You didn't get a chance to talk a lot about this movie, so I am seriously curious why.
So, all right.
And that's all the time we have for Kenny.
You know what? I actually wouldn't hate if you ended it there.
No, I don't want to cut you off.
For the gag.
For the gag?
Yeah.
Totally do it for the gag. Do many things for the gag. Anyway.
Oh, I thought we were making gag sounds. No, is that not part of the
I
show?
would marry it because I think that it's something that I could, like you said, I could keep coming back to and find different things each time, which is really cool. I understand liking having something that's just very like clear and like this is what it is, but there's something that to like adding in different things that gives a film rewatch value.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Us has a lot of rewatch value for me personally. Not to mention the fact that like the acting was incredible, and like I could watch the nuances and the physicalities of everything of the actors, and also like score, music. Like I love the fact that he was able to take something like that song, like I Got Five on It, and then just turn it into something really just
Menacing.
creepy and menacing, and and just for the fucking kill scene, like the second family, like I love that shit, and it has a lot of rewatch value in it for me, so that's why I would marry it.
I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, but you sure she ain't right. No, I'm just kidding. You look so defeated. No. I'll never like seriously shit on someone for why they like something. It just really didn't make sense to me.
That's fair.
Yeah, Corey, how about you?
Man, it's tough because in a lot of ways,
And that's all the time we got for this one.
that would be saving a lot of people a lot of pain.
Fucking really would.
I in a lot of ways I really do love the movie and I want to marry it, but I think maybe it's an open marriage. Because
I mean, I'll fucking put open marriage into this spreadsheet that makes absolutely no sense that we have.
That's what we need. Is we need more score.
It's an open marriage.
It's a really good film, and I like a lot of it. I just don't know how much I'm going to come back to it to rewatch it. I'm greatly impressed, and I would love to watch those actors as those characters as that family a lot more, because every moment I was with them as a family, I just adored it. But as just getting to the gist of it takes a while. It goes a little slow. Getting the end wasn't hugely impressive in where they finish up, but I did have a lot of fun with this film, and I see the genius behind it. So I'm probably just gonna go fuck with a lot of longing.
I thought we read an open marriage.
Fuck tenderly.
Fuck tenderly.
Yeah, fuck with a lot of longing is too much to type. I'm leaving it in an open marriage.
Run for open marrige.
Yeah.
Run for open marriage, because then you can repeat offense like
Friends with
whenever you
benefits?
want.
Yeah.
Right. That's a good point. I'm going with fuck. Like, there may be someday where I'm like, you know what? I miss that puss. But I don't know. Like, I was so excited to go watch this movie again, and I just, at the end of it, I was like, are you fucking over yet?
The best thing about switching this scoring pattern is the explanations we have for what would normally be relationships and how disgusting it is.
And they give our show so much more credibility than we had before.
It reveals so much more about us and how we approach relationships.
Right.
Are you over yet?
Yeah, right. Like, are you done yet? I hear that a lot.
Here's a picture of a dog. It's the only way I can relate to you anymore.
We just usually watch Anchorman. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all she wrote.
Now you ask them about their show and where people can go find them.
Do I have to, though?
It helps.
Wait, can they hear us?
Maybe.
Shit.
What?
The good thing is that there's no audience to also listen in.
Well, there's 9 people now that they are consistently listening to this show. So
You
7. Carry the 1. Phil was already here. Pete was already here. So we're down to 5. 2 of those are friends of mine, so we're 3. Okay, so we're good. Where can people find your show, guys?
Anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Well, that's a shitty answer, Catherine. I'm sorry. I'll drink less the next time you're on.
You know, my name was almost going to be Catherine.
Oh, are you legally a Katie?
I was almost a Catherine.
You're legally a Katie?
No, I'm a Caitlin.
Oh.
Mhm.
That was my sister's name.
That was good.
Yeah. I was Catherine.
All right.
And then got
Should we redo this then?
And then
That's a
my
shitty answer, Caitlin.
R, because my grandpa supposedly cheated with a woman named Catherine, and Caitlin was too close. It was a lot. So I'm glad I'm not Star, though. I feel like that would have led to a very different life.
That's okay. You could know Matt for like 2 years and not tell him your real name and then confuse the fuck out of him one day.
Hey guys. Corey's real name is Donald.
Really?
Took me 2 years to figure that little gem out. Donald Cantwell.
Cantwell?
For fucking 2 years, I thought his name was Corey Scott, like a fucking 2 first name dick mouth.
And that's why my identity didn't get compromised, Equifax. Fuck you.
It's nothing to do with the fact that I got a 3-digit credit score.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
So the show.
Yeah.
Best place.
Yeah. Sorry.
We have one.
Yeah, we do. We have one of those things.
No, we're everywhere that you listen to podcasts except for SoundCloud, because SoundCloud fucking hates us.
No, I think we have like a few episodes.
Ours is you're the first people to ever complain about SoundCloud. No one puts me on SoundCloud unless you're a fucking mumble rapper. So don't even say it.
Yeah, I don't
Speaking
know.
of saying it, can you say the name of the show?
The Haunted Heart podcast.
There's a fucking picture above their heads, and I said it earlier.
Audio podcast listener. I know you think
This is her bit anyway on the show.
No, let me do it. I'm going to do it really well. Okay.
I want Kenny to do it.
Do you want me to do it? Okay.
I mean, I do, but you're just going to give it to her, and it's going to be a whole thing, and this will go on for 10 more minutes.
Okay.
Not because you're not a short-winded little buddy. I'm just saying we're going to fuck around like a bunch of dickheads, because that's our problem.
Yeah, I
Oh.
know.
Ouch.
Ooh, another cat.
Yeah. Wait. That's a different one?
Yeah. That's Minerva.
It's a really good Deftones song.
She's a black cat. She's cute. And when she wants to listen to the Haunted Heart podcast, she goes to her favorite podcast app that's not SoundCloud. Yes. And she's been on Wednesdays for full episodes. And then on the weekend, she checks us out for Netflix and Kill, where we review, as we said at the top of the show, a current streaming film on Netflix and give it a chill or kill rating. So you can find us there. You can find us on Instagram at The Haunted Heart Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at The Haunted Heart. And you can find our closed Facebook group on Facebook if you search The Haunted Heart Podcast there. And that's actually a cool group. You should join that group.
I'm in it already, so thanks for paying any sort of fucking attention.
Sorry, we have a murder mod squad that deals with that. So. Sorry.
What?
They have mods.
You have people?
Yeah.
What's it like to have people?
Hey, we kept Beatmaster up until 4 o'clock in the morning a couple weeks ago, trying to figure out how to make the show work when we were doing it.
He's Swedish and he was in Spain. We had a 10-minute conversation on time zones. It was very strange. Trying to think if there's anything else about your show that people need.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
Just search, man. If you search The Haunted Heart, in some places it pulls up this pastor who was really active like a couple years ago, but I think maybe he had some trouble with his faith.
Where do you think I got the pulpit?
God damn it, Corey.
What?
I wiped out the competition. I took his pulpit when I took him out.
Oh.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Corey, what are you fucking doing whatever with this week?
I'm sweating balls. This is why do I do this? Why do I come up here for 3 hours on a Sunday night when I know I got to be up early and this is not going to shower off easily?
I need to put a toilet in here.
That would be amazing.
That would be literally the best thing I could do, because then I don't have to worry about peeing.
Yeah.
You pushing your wife, yourself?
That's what I do.
I don't. Just down the stairs.
Yeah, I live in Michigan now. It's okay.
I feel like this is part of the vows.
Yeah, you know what? I've got nothing to really pitch this week.
You could follow Corey's wife at Hag_attack. Phil Rude is Phil something Rude. I think 45.
His Instagram. He's got a page. Phil Rude, that illustrator guy.
Yep.
On Facebook.
Trying to think of everything you could ever think of that you like to talk about.
Don't Ask Comics. Go to don'taskcomics.com. You can see some of the comics I helped write with Levi Krauss, and you can see all his other work. He's been posting the original Levi's World books recently on there, so it's always fun.
Yeah.
Matt, where can people find you?
Up your ass and to the left.
That's where we find Matt on Untapped. Matt the Lifeguard, 2 T's.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and Untapped Matt the Lifeguard. I don't use Twitter anymore. I didn't tweet anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm trying to think of other things we talked about. randomspress.bigcartel.com if you want beer glassware.
Yeah. I'm not being. I don't want you to think I'm.
No.
On Instagram.
Let me, Katie. Let me know if you're gonna get something. I'll say something to James. He can send you like a nice dick pic with the glasses.
What?
Nothing.
What?
Yeah.
No, James is a really good friend of mine. So if you're gonna get something, like, I'll just let him know that you're a friend of mine.
Oh. Cool.
Not saying that this is gonna get you anything other than a box with maybe some Rick Astley pictures in it, but yeah,
that would be interesting.
It's happened to me more than once.
Oh, if I had a box of Rick Astley pictures, I don't know that I could ever get that up.
Jesus fucking Christ, Corey.
You deserve that. It's 3 hours.
Wait, why are you drinking hard seltzer on Instagram?
Because okay. Did you read? Hey, did you read the fucking caption?
No, not yet.
Do it.
Hey, Hornswoggle, fight me. I'm unruly right now.
So earlier that night, Swoggle gave me a White Claw, and I said, I don't know, man. I'm more of a Truly guy. And he says, because you're a fucking pussy. And I said, I like to get unruly with Trulies. So then, whatever, we were buddies. So then I went home and continued to drink and sent him that picture on Instagram.
Cool.
It was the most passive aggressive, I don't think we can be friends anymore cool I've ever fucking heard.
This seems like a really bad time to ask people to rate us on iTunes. Okay.
Well, you can't rate us any worse than a 2-star. Well, you can. There's a 1-star, but please don't.
We can.
You literally can.
Shut up, you guys.
Challenge accepted.
Well, we have more than 9 reviews, so I'm hoping whomever will never ever notice that. Oh, Kenneth.
Other listeners, if you rate them less than 5 stars, I will fucking come find your ass.
Yeah, we'll get you. And it won't be good.
No,
won't be
it
good
won't.
getting you.
Damn. Well, I want Katie. I'd like to know why Kenny's followed me on Instagram and you haven't.
I'm following you. Just follow.
No, the Haunted Heart has, but you haven't.
Oh, you were on the Haunted Heart page.
What, you want like my personal Instagram?
Yeah, I followed a
Bitch, I thought we were friends.
Like me trying to be fit. It's rough. It's a lot. I don't really do my personal Instagram anymore. We both use that.
She has people for that.
Yes, people.
No, my personal. Actually, it was. Oh, what is it? I think it was like Final Girl Fit. She ain't been updated in a minute. So.
I guess we'll just keep that podcast show wall of friendship involved. I guess that's going to do it for another episode of the podcast here. Corey, why don't you go ahead and say your catchphrase, which is oddly similar to theirs too, which sounds like we stole it from them.
Stay scary, everybody.
Oh. Is it stay scary? Sorry, you guys froze and we were lost.
Yeah, Corey finishes every show with "Stay Scary," and yours is "Stay Spooky."
Oh, that's cute though. We can try that.
What?
Are we gonna say it all together?
No, I mean you guys can if you want to try. It's gonna be really bad because of the fucking internet. But 1, 2, 3, huh?
Stay
Stay scary, everybody. The internet is fucked up.